now, Billy. Coach K has the record.
They are playing around.
Oh! Shannon Brown. Chambliss. Three-pointer. Got it!
Here's the man from Harlem. Got it!
You can't give him room. Rondo. Oh! Perfectly executed.
Trump with his sledgehammer.
They just want to put it in overdrive. Phelps gives it up. Lowry. Oh, my goodness.
He leaves fumes out there, Vern.
There's gonna be some stuff you're gonna see.
And hello once again, everyone. I'm Greg Gumbel. Welcome to our New York studios and to CBS Sports' continuing coverage of the 2005 NCAA Men's Basketball Championship Tournament. Last night, 4 teams advanced. Tonight, 4 more will do the same to complete the Elite 8 and set the stage for the regional finals tomorrow and Sunday. We begin tonight's doubleheader action with number 5 seed Michigan State challenging top seed Duke in the Austin bracket. And then about 17 minutes after that game tips, we'll take some of you to Syracuse for that regional semifinal between number 10 seed North Carolina State and 6th seed Wisconsin. For those of you in the North Carolina area, both the Duke and the NC State games will be available. Check your local listings. Tipping at about 9:40 Eastern Time, the second game in Austin pits number 6 seed Utah against 2nd seed Kentucky, and at about 10 Eastern Time back in Syracuse, Villanova, the 5th seed, tangles with top seed North Carolina. Surprise, I'm joined by my partners on the road to the Final Four, Clark Kellogg and Seth Davis of Sports Illustrated. Let's talk about who we like in these games, beginning with Michigan State against Duke. Clark?
Well, you talk about Michigan State. I love their athleticism on the perimeter and their depth. I think those are the areas where they'll have a chance to be better defensively than they were in the first meeting when they lost to Duke by 7 in Durham. Allen Anderson epitomizes that versatility. As a 4-man, he gets matched up with big guys who he can take advantage of out on the perimeter, and he's also a very versatile defender. That's where I think Michigan State has the advantage, and that's why I like them to move forward.
But they are going to have to execute during the last couple of minutes of the game, Clark, and that has been Michigan State's problem. And when you're talking about execution against Duke, you're talking about stopping J.J. Redick, who only went for 29 points the first time that they played. Duke as a whole made 55% from behind the arc. Michigan State has the athletes to contain Redick, but he is more than just a shooter. They're going to also have to stop his dribble penetration, hopefully try to get him or Sheldon Williams in foul trouble. I think that's too much to ask, and I think Duke's going to win.
All right, a couple of these games have the feel of the kind of games we saw last night, which would only be great, and that's one of them. Let's talk about North Carolina State, Wisconsin.
Well, when you look at North Carolina State, you talk about a team that's ridden the leadership and stellar play of their outstanding player, Julius Hodge. He is a stat sheet stuffer supreme in that he's able to do everything. He has 15 assists and only 4 turnovers in the 2 tournament games, and he's made every big play they've needed to have made. I look for him to really be the difference in this game. I'm going with the best player theory, which I fell away from last night, but I'm back on it this time tonight. I think North Carolina State, because of Hodge, he's the difference maker.
I agree with you. I think NC State is going to win the game. Hodge is a big reason. I think he'll also need to have a big defensive effort. Everybody will against Mike Wilkinson of Wisconsin, who I think has been the best player in the Big Ten, who doesn't play for Illinois. And remember, this is a team that really doesn't have a point guard, a true point guard. And with Wilkinson's size, he's second on the team in assists. He makes 37% from three-point range. I think NC State would do well to put Julius Hodge on Wilkinson, because I think with Wilkinson, you need to beat him with your speed and not with your size. But I do think NC State's going to win.
All right, our second game's Utah and Kentucky. That's a 6 seed against a 2 seed. Who do you like in that game?
I like Utah. The best player theory, Andrew Bogut. Oklahoma's bigs are a lot better than Kentucky's bigs. If they can take care of that pumpkin, they're going to squeeze Kentucky right out of this tournament.
Yeah, I agree. They have to play through Bogut, though. In that game against Oklahoma, they let the other guys get going before they went to Bogut. I think Utah has to establish him early and often in the paint to have a chance to beat Kentucky, but I like Utah.
And as if Villanova didn't have enough trouble, they're going to have to play against North Carolina tonight, minus Curtis Sumter. What do you think?
Well, the Tar Heels have been very, very impressive. The most impressive team outside of Louisville in the tournament to this point. I think they roll. Villanova has been pesky defensively, but they can't handle North Carolina in a track meet type game. That's the only way they can play. North Carolina, I think, wins convincingly.
Yeah, North Carolina's going to have more trouble in their next game because it will be a slower game. Villanova wants to run, and that's exactly what the Tar Heels want.
We're going to be off and running in just a bit. The road to the Final Four continues after this word from your local station.
Something we never thought would happen. See it to believe it. New Survivor, CBS Thursday.
Designed to captivate, sedan designed to outperform. Introducing the all-new M from Infiniti.
High endurance body wash. Get clean, feel clean, smell great.
William, get out of the shower. Can you hear me in there?
High endurance body wash from Old Spice.
Bass Pro Shops. It's more than a store. It's the place where outdoor adventures begin. It's gearing up for good times. It's enjoying the trail together. It's getting great gear at big savings, like Berkeley Frenzy hard baits for only $1.99 each. Save $40 on Extreme Series rods, now just $59.99. And get this Pro Qualifier Spin Cast Combo, a $139 value for only $39.88. Bass Pro Shops. Your adventure starts here.
BMW X3. Now for a limited time, lease the X3 3.0i for $369 a month.
How you can win 2 tickets to the big game. Visit CBS2Chicago.com.
What's at stake tonight? Trip to the regional finals. That's what. For those of you expecting to see the start of North Carolina State against Wisconsin, we'll get you to your tip at 7:27 Eastern Time. But coming up now, Michigan State and Duke. We'll send you out to Jim Nance and Billy Packer in Austin right after this. Enjoy the games, everyone. March Madness continues here on CBS.
CBS Sports exclusive coverage of the Men's Basketball Championship is sponsored by DiGiorno, Hummer, Coca-Cola, and by Allstate.
Somebody was up late last night. Make that somebody's. And that's okay. Because if you work hard, you play hard. Just don't look in the mirror. Unless you're using Nivea for Men Revitalizing Lotion Q10. Q10 restores your skin, leaving it healthy and fit. Well, that takes care of your face. But don't forget about your eyes. Reduce puffiness and lose the dark circles with new Revitalizing Eye Cream Q10. Nivea for Men. More evolved skincare.
What is taste loss?
Am I at risk?
I thought the government wiped out taste loss in the 1950s.
If you have questions, we have the answers for you.
How can we fight taste loss?
Protect yourself with a great tasting, less filling Miller Lite. And please, keep asking questions.
Is now a good time to talk about taste loss?
Any time is a good time to talk about taste loss. Miller, good call.
I love the tender, crisp, bacon, cheddar ranch. No one tells you to behave. Folks don't front you cause you got the juice. There's a train of ladies coming with a nice caboose. Never get in trouble, never need an excuse. That's the tender, crisp, bacon, cheddar ranch.
Class of '94, here I come.
When you want to make a good impression, Enterprise Rent-A-Car will pick you up free and get you going in style.
Looking good, Moose.
Pick Enterprise. We'll pick you up.
CBS Sports Line. We've got the tournament covered.
This is what the tournament is all about. The shot. Pass to Leitner. Miracle! The Clippers down! Keith Smart is the hero. Syracuse is your national champion.
From Longhorn
corn country, deep in the heart of Texas. The Sweet 16 continues with the road to the Final Four in Austin, Texas. The Michigan State Spartans take on the Duke Blue Devils, and later tonight on this same floor, it'll be Utah and Kentucky. And hello, friends. Jim Nantz along with Billy Packer. What a night we have in store here. A doubleheader. First up, it's Michigan State and Duke. And Billy, let's talk about the Spartans. What do you see here?
Well, here you have in Paul Davis, the number 4 rebounder in the Big Ten. Had a fine game against Duke earlier this year. 17 points and 10 rebounds. A big load to handle inside. And of course, in Chris Hill, you have the number 1 man in the Big Ten in regard to assist-turnover ratio, but he's been 0 for 9 from 3 so far in the NCAA tournament.
Billy, what about Sheldon Williams of Duke?
Well, I think he's the best defensive player in the country. Here you see him going up with a block, led the ACC in shot blocks this year. And here you have J.J. Redick. What more can you say? First-team All-American, ACC Player of the Year, ACC Tournament MVP.
Well, our game is brought to you in HD TV by Harrison Corporation, the world leader in broadcast systems for high-definition television. Michigan State won the championship in 2000, Duke in 2001, and here they go with the Spartans getting the break right off the tip and unable to get Ager's layup to drop, and the Devils
got to finish that shot, Jim. Wide open, no shot block to it at all. Actually, it should have been dunked. Inside, Williams and Davis.
What a matchup that is, and Williams hits the jumper.
Turned opposite his body structure and still made the shot. Now here's an interesting matchup. Shavlik Randolph out on Anderson. Anderson capable of playing even at a guard position. Shavlik Randolph asking to do a lot, stepping out on the perimeter.
Now Davis with Williams watching him. Neitzel, a freshman point, comes into traffic and puts it off the glass. And long rebound to Ewing, and Duke has a chance to do something with it. Stutter step move, Ewing off the glass for 2.
Ewing has been outstanding. The great game that he played against Mississippi State on both ends of the floor. His leadership has been outstanding in this tournament.
Ewing returning to his home state of Texas and on a floor where he played his last high school game. Driving in, Duke takes it away with Sheldon Williams.
Brown's got to realize that Sheldon Williams is going to be waiting on him in the post. He ought to actually be looking to make a pass on that play. It's like Redick got hit in the mouth. There's no blood, or is there? Oh, how about that? A 10-second call. I think Redick may have blood coming out of his mouth.
Here are the lineups. Davis with the senior Anderson, Ager, Brown, and Neitzel. Sheldon Williams, Shav Randolph, Sean Dockery, and J.J. Redick with Daniel Ewing. First forward to the Devils.
Good step out. Got to go for the pick and roll, and they do.
Anderson underneath, and the Spartans put up 2.
Good job for Anderson to roll to that basket. Sheldon Williams had to stay with Davis, so he couldn't pick that off.
Boy, Tom Izzo just charged over there, yelling at Shannon Brown to stay with Ewing. Sheldon Williams, he's already hit his first shot, and his second.
Step in on Davis. So far, there's been no double down from Michigan State. Davis not able to handle Williams on either of those attempts.
A good pick by Davis, that had Dockery stunned for a moment. Driving in Ager, too strong, and Williams with the big hands. Well, it squirts into the arms of Ewing. Again, driving on Neitzel.
Oh, that ball on the way up. Yes, sir.
And they're not going to call a goaltend. They
got it on the way up.
It's on the way up, but they do get the foul call.
You see that ball on the way up. It was going to hit off the boards. That was a good, clean block.
Foul is on Neitzel.
Jim, how about Sheldon Williams? He blocks shots without knocking them away, so he keeps them in play for either himself or his teammates, so they can go ahead and generate off the defense their offensive break. Not many guys of his age capable of doing that.
Senior co-captain Daniel Ewing out of Missouri City, Texas, just outside of Houston, where he helped lead Willow Ridge High School to the Class 5A championship. May of 2001 on this floor, beating Bryan, Texas for the state championship, and now he returns.
And a pretty fair backcourt teammate, TJ Ford, at the time. I mean, could you imagine how they blew by people on the high school level?
Davis. Randolph got a piece of it from behind, but it still goes.
Pretty nice job by Davis to get in the low post, only 2 feet away from the basket.
You mentioned T.J. Ford. They have his jersey hanging from the rafters here. He led Texas to the Final Four 2 years ago. Again, Ewing's backcourt mate at Willow Ridge.
Redick has not had a shot. Remember the ball game against Delaware State. He went 10 minutes without scoring.
Williams
Left hand.
short this time, and Davis crashes in all alone.
Agers so far has kept the ball away from Redick. An excellent defensive job.
Brown back over to Davis. Baseline jumper open.
Excellent decision on his part, not taking the ball. With Sheldon Williams pulled up for the short jumper. Full court pressure right now by Michigan State. I think this is a good move because it makes Redick work even more before he gets in a position for the shot. Dockery so far has not been used as the primary ball handler, Jim. Kind of surprises me a little bit.
Ewing.
Tough shot. Not a good shot.
And Davis plucks it out of the air. State running. Neitzel working on Dockery, and it circles in.
Well, a big difference between the first game that these people played and that ball game. Neitzel was no factor. Did not score. Played sparingly. You got to remember at that time Chris Hill was the point guard.
Yeah, Neitzel just in the first month of his freshman season. And that was November 30th when these two met at Cameron. Duke winning at 81-74. And Ewing starred with 29 points in the double win. And that's off Randolph, going to Michigan State.
Anderson much quicker, even in the low post.
Go to the first break. Knotted at 8.
That time of year again.
Big deals for the big dance. Chevy NCAA March Madness event. Score big on specially marked deals. The price you see is the price you pay. Hurry, ends March 31st. See your local Chevy dealer today.
Get on the ball. Delivery pizza, baby. Play it for the last piece. I'm gonna light you up, Eric. Oh, hey, my victor, baby. Can't help it, man. Come on, you can hell yeah. Skywalker for the W. Hey, that's my delivery pizza.
It's not delivery, it's DiGiorno.
Enter DiGiorno's full ride. You can win $40 grand for college or NCAA men's Final Four tickets. Details on specially marked packages or DiGiorno.com.
Later on, LeBron James is here, and we'll have this, something like that. Let's just run through it. Yeah, okay. No, I think it's sold out, actually. Let me just start like that. Whoa! Are you guys rolling on this? Yeah. That's a 90-footer. Ow! That is amazing. Oh, my. Did you get that? You have that, right?
The fan sitting here switched his car insurance from Geico to Allstate and saved $318 a year. This one switched from Progressive and saved $476. This one switched from State Farm and saved $214. Just 3 of the 1 million drivers who switched to Allstate. Out to save America some money. That's Allstate, Stan. Are you in good hands?
Everyone has their secrets, but not like this one.
She isn't what she seems to be.
You're disgusting!
Why don't you tell us what really happened?
New Without a Trace, CBS Thursday.
Tiger Woods looks to join legends Arnold Palmer and Jack Nicklaus as the only golfers to win 4 or more green jackets. The Masters on CBS.
Coming up for many of you, North Carolina State and Wisconsin battling up in Syracuse. Will get you to your tip on time. And last night, these teams advanced to the regional finals. Illinois and Arizona, they'll battle in Chicago tomorrow. Louisville and West Virginia in Albuquerque. All of them have won 3 games. 3 more wins, you'll have a national championship.
And you look at other regions, Jim. In this particular region, you had 7 of the last 14 Final Four champions came out of this region. Syracuse, the only one not to be here on the floor tonight.
Redick makes the steal, and Ewing lays it in on the other side.
Excellent pass, lofted perfectly, so Ewing could run underneath.
Namick is into the lineup for Michigan State and got a little sloppy with the ball handling that last time. Anderson left open. And that one dips down and out. Out to Torbert, who's also checked in, the senior. Three-point shot. In and out for Brown. And a whistle call on Duke.
Going to be Shavlik Randolph going over the top of Namick, who's played valuable minutes here in this tournament.
The ACC tournament champion Blue Devils, the #1 seed in this bracket with wins over Delaware State. The Hornets put up a good fight in that game in Charlotte. And then defeating Mississippi State, a game that was tied with 5 minutes to go. The Devils holding those opponents to an average of 50 points a game and 34% shooting from the field. Doing it with defense the first 2 rounds of the tournament. Namick with Williams behind him. Setting up the shot, the flip, off the mark. And Ewing off to another good start. Had the big game against Michigan State first go-round.
Ewing did. He had 29 in that game. He and Reddick were incredible from the three-point range. So far, Reddick has not been able to touch the ball. Hill on him. He needs to get some screens. He's moving without it, but not quickly.
DeMarcus Nelson in for the Devils, 21, and Lee Melchione, 13.
Good block.
But right back to Sheldon Williams. Doubled up and a travel call. Michigan State, meanwhile, the 5 seed and really under the radar, Billy, in this tournament, coming in with wins over Old Dominion and then Vermont. You know, everyone had figured it would be Michigan State and Syracuse meeting in the second round. But Vermont shocked the Orange in the opening round, and this is going the other way. It's going against Namick. So Michigan State with wins to get to this point, Old Dominion and Vermont.
Well, you know, you can't look ahead as to who you're going to play, Jim, and you can't complain if somebody you anticipated being there got knocked out of the way. Nobody votes you forward in this tournament, which is what makes it so special.
But it is a Michigan State team. I think much like the Utah team that will be on this floor later today, very little kind of sizzle around that team in the tournament. Not a lot of talk going in, but a very experienced team.
Well, you got to remember all 3 of the teams from the Big Ten that we expected to be good. There's Nelson, who has that ability to go inside. Jim, all 3 of those teams, Wisconsin, Illinois, which is already there, and Michigan State are still alive. So it's not like this league hasn't shown it can do something in this tournament.
That's Sheldon Williams defending that forced that takeaway. Davis got caught in midair. Sheldon Williams had a hand on it. The Blue Devils snatch it.
There you see Reddick trying to get loose on inside. Nowhere to go for Nelson.
And all Michigan State on the floor. Davis gets tied up, and the arrow belongs to Duke. You know, we talked about Illinois with his win last night against Wisconsin-Milwaukee. It'll be Illinois and Arizona, what should be quite a collision tomorrow for the right to go to the Final Four.
Stoudemire's shot. You think a year ago at this time, Oklahoma State, John Lucas hits the shot to knock out St. Joe. This year, just exactly the reverse happens. Stoudemire hits the shot and sends Eddie Sutton's club home.
There are only 12 teams still alive, Billy, and this is coming out to Hill, who has checked in. The lob pass. Defended by Ewing.
And that goes to show you how Ewing can get in the air. He's very underrepresented in terms of how high he can jump, because it was Brown that was going to go for this basket. Hill knows that Brown can sky, but watch Ewing get up there right with Brown. It's amazing how high he can go.
What happened here, Billy, when Ewing deflected it, it hit off the shot clock, so out of bounds off Duke. And State will inbound. Still haven't scored after that break at the 16-minute mark.
And Williams goes out of the game early at Shavlik Randolph, now on Davis. And there he is.
Davis outside, back of the rim. Torbert back over to Hill. Hill with the floater.
Just not shooting confidently.
Melchione surrounded.
They call a jump. I heard the whistle blow. It looks like a foul is going to be called from the outside. Big break for Duke.
Going to be a foul on Michigan State.
Now full court pressure. Reddick, Nelson better get back to help out.
That was called on Chris Hill, Billy.
Both coaches going to their bench early and often in this one, figuring it's going to be a real struggle down the line. There's a push by Torbert.
And again, for those of you expecting NC State and Wisconsin will be getting you to the tip on time. It's in this window, if you will, the 2 games. It's like an old ACC Big Ten challenge here, Billy, in both games.
Absolutely.
And in that little competition at the beginning of the year, these 2 met. And in the 9 meetings, ACC won 7 of the 9.
And remember last year in that ACC Big Ten Challenge, it was Dockery who did the job to get Duke started, and they just blew Michigan State out up in Lansing.
That's Melchione, short on the 3 and right into the arms of Davis. Hill surveying, left open.
Good decision maker. Got to make those shots inside.
Ball comes out to Trannon. Fires at corner. Nice move. Ager with the basket.
There's the difference. Shavlik Randolph inside with Williams out. Williams blocks that shot. Randolph can't get to it.
They had gone 3.5 minutes without scoring before that one and missed 6 in a row.
And who has not taken a shot yet?
J.J. Redick.
Just like Delaware State. He went 10 minutes without one.
Nelson driving in.
Oh!
One. DeMarcus Nelson powering his way in.
The young man is so strong inside. He is not an effective outside shooter, but he has great upper body strength. And look at him take it inside, double pumps and gets it off. Had huge games this year in NC State 15 points, North Carolina in that tremendous game with 16 points. Very valuable off the bench.
Redick out, again, without taking a shot. Anderson back in for State. Trannon called for the foul, and DeMarcus Nelson will have the three-point opportunity. All ACC freshman team who committed to Duke as a 15-year-old sophomore in high school, the earliest any player ever committed to an ACC team in history. Sheldon Williams comes in with Duke in front, 15-10.
And there was DeMarcus Nelson had taken 57 of 107 fouls, only 53% shooter, and buries it.
Michigan State 31% in the early going. And that one also.
Got to question the shot.
Yep, back of the rim for Ager.
This Michigan State team, great free throw shooting club. There's a good steal.
Yep, that's Ager stripping it right away from Ewing. He takes middle. He'll drive it in uncontested for 2.
Breakdown defensively for Duke, which has one of the best defensive clubs in the country in regard to getting back on defense. That time did not pick up the most important man, he who has the ball.
J.J. Redick right back up on his feet, ready to come back at a whistle. And it's Allen Anderson with the theft. 3-on-2. And Anderson over Williams somehow for 2 more.
Anderson, as we talked about, totally versatile player. Has played 4 different positions for this Michigan State team, showing how he can take it inside, playing big.
Saw it there, the nifty ball handling. Played a lot of point guard his sophomore and junior years, Allen Anderson. There's Williams in the lane, the hook. And it's going the other way. They're going to call it a push-off on Shav Randolph. His second foul. 15-14 Devils, first half.
Yo, Cedric!
I'm the designated driver.
I can't hear you! Make the body ride. 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 Your conditions get a little out of line. The best thing about being a woman is the prerogative to have a little fun.
With its Vortec engine and seating for up to 6, the Colorado Crew Cab has power and room to spare.
Man, I feel like a woman.
An American Revolution.
See your local Chevy dealer today.
Yeah, I'd like to redeem my credit card miles to the finals in St. Louis.
He shoots. Nothing but no.
Go from no to no hassle with Capital One No Hassle Rewards. Fly any airline with no blackout dates.
What's in your wallet?
How's your reception in here?
Oh, it's great.
Really?
Yeah, fine. Totally.
Then you have to make an important call?
No, not really.
You sure? Because I've got like 5 bars.
Yeah, no, it's fine.
You're not going to ask for help?
No, I'm not.
More bars in more places. That's the goal of Singular's all-over network, the largest digital voice and data coverage in America. The new Singular, raising the bar.
Yeah, I'd like to redeem my credit card miles to the finals in St. Louis.
No!
Go from no to no hassle with Capital One No Hassle Rewards. Fly any airline with no blackout dates.
What's in your wallet?
Wind me up, put
Chad Randolph on the bench with 2 fouls. This Duke team in the Sweet 16, Billy, for the 8th straight year, the 2nd longest streak in the history of the tournament.
Well, it was Dean Smith with 13 straight years that he took the team to the Sweet 16. Jim, you know what else is interesting? Only 3 teams made it back to the Sweet 16 this year from last year. Illinois, and the 2 teams on the floor right now, Michigan State and Duke. Shows how hard it is to do.
You know, Michigan State's been Sweet 16 bound 6 of the last 8. Davis rolls off the front of the rim. 6 out of 8 for the Spartans. 8 out of 8 for the Blue Devils.
Let's see. Reddick still without a shot. Could get down under the 10-minute mark just as he was with Delaware State. Nothing there.
Well, now he finds a way. Yep, frees himself and hits his first attempt.
And he was double teamed and stepped through, and neither Michigan State defender went with him. So he breaks almost a 10-minute spell without a shot or field goal.
That's a hold on Nelson, who has given Duke 5 points off the bench. Well, this will be his first.
Jim, I was talking about free throw shooting. Michigan State on their losses have been a nightmare from the free throw line, and yet they're the #2 free throw shooting team in the nation. In that loss to Iowa in the Big Ten tournament, they were 15 for 30 with good players on the line.
Yeah, Allen Anderson at the end of that game clanked a couple. Shocking for a team so highly rated overall in the season. Boy, they're getting a lot of offensive rebounds in this one. The Spartans, as Davis keeps it alive this time, and another foul on Duke.
I think that's going to be Melchione. Good strong hands by Davis in traffic.
Devils already again with Randolph on the bench with 2 fouls, and when it comes to depth, the edge here tonight has to favor Michigan State.
I would probably say that with one exception. Duke had a lot of injuries, and they dodged those injuries all year long. This is probably the healthiest the Duke team has been. You know, Love is not in the ball game yet. They can use him for a warm body to get 5 or 6 minutes worth of playing time. A young guy that did play in the NCAA tournament 2 years ago.
So Melchione collects his first foul. You saw 7 offensive rebounds for the Spartans, none for the Devils to this point.
I think Brown can take Melchione off the dribble.
Anderson steps up right in front of the arc, and Williams with a nice board.
And Ewing tonight has been the primary ball handler no matter who's in. There's a hold of the shirt that time by Egger on Reddick. And again, that is a call, Jim, we've seen time and time again, not called as an intentional foul. I think it's got to be a point of emphasis.
Egger to the bench with his first, and Torbert takes his place in the lineup.
Players are really getting in a bad habit. Whenever they're guarding a man without the ball and he makes a cut, they just grab him by the shirt.
What do you think they ought to do about that in the offseason?
Oh, I think it should be a point of emphasis and be an intentional foul and get the kids out of that habit.
New 35 for the Devils as Neitzel kicked it.
They only call it on a breakaway, you know, but they don't call it on guys that are cutting through. And it's something that they're really going to have to change.
Duke shooting 64% here in the early going, but 7 turnovers now, and Brown puts it down.
Well, Nelson having problems handling the ball out front. He needs to get that ball back to Ewing as quickly as possible. Neitzel can take it from him. This is not what Nelson likes to do. He'd rather get the ball about 12, 15 feet and then make a break to the basket on Neitzel. What Michigan State's done a fine job is taking away the perimeter game that killed them down in Durham.
And that'll send Sheldon Williams to the line. Second foul on Neitzel. And how about the Spartans with now 7 turnovers they forced.
Good steals, and they're taking a lot of them to the basket. They've just started to finish some in the beginning of the ball game. They're making the steals, but weren't finishing. And you know Brown can.
Boy, can he. 5 steals in all for the Spartans.
It's a young man with 20 double-doubles on the year. It's been outstanding. #1 shot blocker, #1 rebounder in the Atlantic Coast Conference.
And again, the ACC Defensive Player of the Year. Melchione and Nelson go out. Dockery and Love in the lineup for the first time. Reggie Love.
So now we have 2 ends side by side, Jim. 2 wide receivers playing against each other on the basketball court.
Trannon and Love.
Trannon and Love.
Trannon caught over 400 yards worth of passes and a couple of touchdowns, and Big Ten play last fall, and Reggie Love.
75 catches, 875 yards in his career.
Yeah, and had a tryout with the Packers just last fall. That's Anderson working hard for the shot. Look how high Williams climbed for that one.
Boy, isn't it amazing how he stays on the ground to get to the peak of his jump where the ball is, as opposed to just flailing around as he used to in his first 2 years. Trannon on Williams. No help.
Kind of like that matchup for Duke, but Williams comes up short on the jumper. Now Brown.
Trying to use Trannon as a screener.
Hill had a couple of looks and pulled it back out. Hill is now 0 for 11 in the tournament from the field. That's Torbert. Way off on that one, and Reddick tips it over to Love.
Nice hands by the end. Good reception.
Just what you'd expect.
And again, let's see if Reddick, who now is being guarded by Hill, can start getting some more looks. Another steal.
Can you believe this? 6.5, and Hill with a body foul call on Ewing.
And you know, Duke is really getting sloppy with their ball handling out on the perimeter. These are good steals that Michigan State's making, but Duke has not been tough with the ball.
Duke turning it over, but leading by 2.
Chevy Suburban, the highest-ranked full-size SUV in initial quality. Chevy Tahoe, the best-selling full-size SUV.
Take it. You take it.
And the powerful 275-horsepower Trailblazer.
Boys.
It's one tough family of SUVs, Chevy, an American revolution.
See your local Chevy dealer today.
No matter what the sport, anytime athletes sweat, they lose more than just water. Gatorade puts back the sodium, potassium, and carbs all athletes need to perform at their best. Water does not.
Cholesterol. It comes buttered, battered, basted, and roasted. But it also comes from Mom, Dad, Grandma Rose, and Grandpa Joe. Your cholesterol doesn't just come from food. It also has a lot to do with family history. Ask your doctor about Vytorin. A healthy diet is important, but when it's not enough, adding Vytorin can help. Vytorin treats the 2 sources of cholesterol: food and what your body makes naturally based on family history. Vytorin lowers bad cholesterol 45 to 60%. Vytorin is not for everyone, including people with liver problems, women who are nursing, pregnant, or may become pregnant. Unexplained muscle pain or weakness could be a sign of a rare but serious side effect. Vytorin may interact with other medicines or certain foods, increasing your risk of getting this serious side effect. Simple blood tests are needed to check for liver problems. Continue to follow a healthy diet and ask your doctor about adding Vytorin. For the 2 sources of cholesterol, remember the name Vytorin. That's Vytorin.
A rainy day is my chance to be home. Be a fan. Be a kid. Be lazy. Problem is, there are no rainy days. My life is about never settling. That's why my card is American Express.
Greg Gumbel, Clark Kellogg, Seth Davis in New York. Back to Austin in just a moment. After we check into Syracuse, where North Carolina State leads Wisconsin. Anything surprise you about this game in this early stage?
No. Well, North Carolina State has knocked down threes. Bennerman has gotten off to a good start in terms of point production, but right now it's the three-point shot that's the difference in the game.
Yeah, North Carolina State reminds me a lot of West Virginia in that they really found some great chemistry here late in the season with this Princeton offense. They're 4 for 4 from behind the arc. Cameron Bennerman, the junior guard, off to a really good start with 8 points. NC State just has a great bounce in their step so far.
8 of the Wolfpack's first 13 points as they lead Wisconsin by 9, and here come the Wolfpack once again. They have been on the run most of the time this early evening, and there's another long-range jumper. 4 out of 4 now from behind the three-point line. 16-9, NC State in the lead. We'll keep you updated. Back to Austin, Texas. Jim Nantz, Billy Packer.
And Ewing out there to have the shooters
Ewing, he looked over Reddick's way. Again, Reddick with only one attempt to this point, made it.
He's got Torbert on him right now. But Ewing's had the ball so much, he hadn't been in a position to be the shooter.
Williams backing in on Davis, and this one rattles in.
The half hook. That time Reddick was open for the kick out.
And a collision at midcourt, and it's called on Dockery, who hits the floor.
This is a terrific shot by Williams. Look at him extend those arms and not use his left hand to shield picking up a cheap foul. Terrific touch. Strong man with soft hands.
That's the first foul on Dockery. And the 6th team foul on the Devils.
Torbert has size on this one.
Torbert, and look at Ewing reach in and knock it loose.
I'm really surprised that Dockery, who is not the shooter, has not been the primary ball handler.
Reddick on the run, hits the 3. He had made only 3 out of 15 from 3 out in Charlotte, and look at this. Ewing almost with a clean theft.
I thought that was a clean theft. The hand is part of the ball, and he got it.
Near the end of every NCAA tournament game, we select a Chevrolet player of the game from each team to honor their determination and outstanding play. Chevrolet makes a $1,000 contribution to each university's general scholarship fund. Chevy, an American revolution. It sends Davis to the line after Ewing collects his 2nd. You look at a player here at the line, Billy, who last year was first team all Big Ten, and this year, third team.
Yep.
His numbers still pretty good. I mean, 12 points, 8 rebounds a game, and Michigan State went 13-3 in the Big Ten, a team that got largely ignored because Illinois was so great all season long.
One of the other things surprising for Davis, he only has 19 blocks on the year. You take that as compared to a guy like Williams on the other end of the floor, who's sitting there with 120 blocks. Hard to believe, isn't it?
It really is. That's Reddick again getting to space. Love pulls it down, whips it over to Williams. What a play by Reggie Love.
Valuable minutes Love provides for Duke. He had that broken foot which kept him out of ball games about 2/3 of the year, but comes in now with a lot of experience.
Ager surrounded, kicks it back out Torbert as we approach 6 minutes in the first half, and Duke leading by 6.
Senior on freshman, doesn't take him.
Under 10 shot clock. Torbert. Williams came over to help out, but no help at all. Is a strong move for the basket that time.
You're right, Jim. Upper body strength enables you to get those kind of shots off.
Torbert's first 2 of the game. Duke has never trailed in this one.
Nelson has had problems handling the ball out on the wing.
Driving in and crashing in on him, Paul Davis. Will they call it on Davis? Nope, they're going to call it. They're going to call it instead on Torbert. And we've got the singular at the half coming up with Greg Clark and Seth. They'll get you updated on all the latest tournament news and a live look at that NC State-Wisconsin game up in Syracuse. You'll have that live look in singular at the half, plus a singular Naismith update. It's all coming up. Torbert to the bench with 2.
You don't really feel that the Michigan State can get in foul trouble with this deep bench that they have and with the experience that they have with all of these seniors.
Nelson, that's the front end of a 1-on-1.
There's that 53% free throw shooter that will hurt you.
Oh, and the ball gets away from Ager.
Ager took his eye off it on the catch, looking inside to see if Anderson was breaking.
We were talking to Tom Izzo yesterday at the practice, Billy, and about his team really not getting a lot of attention, and 13-3 in the Big Ten. As he put it, 80% of the time you go 13-3 in a regular season, you're going to win the conference.
You win it or you're tying for it. Here, Bagrakis now on Reddick.
Reddick has that one stripped. Dockery, though, falls on it and somehow gets it over to Williams for the basket. What an assist from the floor by Sean Dockery.
And how about the heads-up move not to call the timeout when he knew he had a passing lane?
Bagrakis in here. Back over to Hill.
Just doesn't have that shot anymore.
Going to be Michigan State ball. No, they overturn it. Back to Duke.
You know, Dockery did a great job there, too, Jim, pointing the other way emphatically and giving the weak side an official an opportunity to make the call. I think now's the time with Bagrakis on Reddick to get Reddick some looks.
Under 5 minutes to go in the first half, and Duke right now matching its largest lead of the night, 6.
Here comes Reddick out.
And that one wide of the mark.
Reddick was leaning on the play. Normally he goes up and down very straight.
Great pass by Hill, and Davis converts. And a chance for the three-point play. Hill bounced it in just perfectly.
There are some strong upper bodies in this ball game. Great job by Davis running on the break.
Marcus Nelson slapped with his second foul. Hill comes out. Neitzel returns to the point. And Daniel Ewing jumps back in for the freshman Nelson. Down with 2.
Davis this year, big games against Stanford, which we had on CBS earlier this year, and Wisconsin, 20 in both of those ball games.
You know, he was matched up last week. He's got Sheldon Williams on his hands tonight. Last week in that Vermont game, he had Taylor Coppenrath to contend with all game long, and did a pretty fine job on a very respected player from Vermont. Coppenrath was 5 of 23 from the field in that game against the Spartans, going against Davis.
And Davis with 11 points and 14 rebounds. Solid offensive performance on his part.
8 points, 6 rebounds for Davis, leading the Spartans. It's Ewing finding a spot and hitting the 3.
Beautiful step back.
Boise State really pushes it up the floor. Neitzel on the drive. Tough angle, but he got it.
Second time in this ball game that Neitzel has taken Dockery all the way to the basket to score.
Again, full court pressure employed.
Ewing is really having an outstanding first half on both ends of the floor. Good hedge move by Anderson. Now Williams wide open.
A pair of free throws coming up after the break. 30-26 has been tight throughout.
What is taste loss?
Am I at risk?
I thought the government wiped out taste loss in the 1950s.
If you have questions, we have the answers for you.
How can we fight taste loss?
Protect yourself with a great tasting, less filling Miller Lite. And please, keep asking questions.
Is now a good time to talk about taste loss?
Anytime is a good time to talk about taste loss. Miller, good call.
Make more of your money work for you. Consider a fund targeted to your retirement year. For more information and to open a no-fee Roth IRA, call 1-800-FIDELITY. Smart move.
Delivery pizza, baby. Play you for the last piece. I'm gonna light you up, man. Oh, okay, my victor, baby. Get heaven, man. Come on, you can hell, yeah. Skywalker for the W. Hey, that's my delivery pizza.
It's not delivery, it's DiGiorno.
Enter DiGiorno's full ride. You can win $40 grand for college or NCAA men's Final Four tickets. Details on specially marked packages or DiGiorno.com.
Get on the ball. Get on the ball. March the beat now. Get on the ball. March the beat now. Get on the ball.
It's that time of year again.
Big deals for the big dance. Chevy NCAA March Madness event. Score big on specially marked deals. The price you see is the price you pay. Hurry ends March 31st. See your local Chevy dealer today.
Get on the ball.
Tonight on The Late Show, Dave welcomes Vin Diesel, plus a day in the life of the Michael Jackson trial.
During a recess, Michael goes nuts and dangles a bailiff from the balcony.
Tonight.
It may be the most grueling race in America, and the only one where a woman can beat the top men. How? 60 Minutes, Sunday.
Greg Gumbel in New York. Back to Austin in a moment after we update what's happening in Syracuse, where the Wolfpack are red hot from behind the three-point line. Jordan Collins makes it 6 out of 6 for the Wolfpack. They've opened up a 10-point lead on Wisconsin. 10-12 to play in the first half. Let's get you back. Jim and Billy.
We are back in the capital city of Texas, Austin. Austin, Texas for Duke and Michigan State. Jim Nantz, Billy Packer, Sheldon Williams leading the Blue Devils with 11 points here in the first half.
Jim, what's been amazing about this fella is his conditioning has been so good. He has not gotten any of those fatigue fouls that plagued him earlier in his career. This year he's committed 91 fouls, but has only fouled out of 2 ball games. And when you take in consideration what's asked of him and the fact that he's playing 34 minutes a game, rather incredible. Good concentration, good mental approach to basketball on his part, and then he takes that great physique and makes it work.
2 for 2. And back up to 6. Matching largest of the game.
Nice catch.
Top of the key. Anderson able to drive right in, and look at Williams denied.
What a block.
Boy, that was going in for the slam.
Here you got Redick out on the side for the jump shot.
Passes up 1-3, now takes it. Boy, that's his shot.
Yeah, he didn't miss many of those. He was maybe a little anxious, had more room than he thought.
Some block at the other end, though, and look at Dockery pick his pocket.
Now Dockery's looking for Redick again for that jumper.
Instead, inside collision with Davis, and the ball bounces off the Spartan.
You know, if you make contact and it creates an advantage, here you'll see this block by Williams. There again, you notice how he does not knock the ball away. He keeps it in play. I thought that was a foul on Davis down the other end. He got by with one.
Neisel sits. Hill returns.
And remember what Michigan State did earlier. They were getting the ball a lot on steals on the perimeter. Haven't had one lately.
Williams splitting the defenders, and ball loose. Knocked out by Duke.
Pretty good job by Davis to get a little piece of that because he wasn't getting any double down help.
Tom Izzo told us we have to find a way to stop their guards. They beat us up in that first encounter at Cameron. Ewing had 29 for the game. Redick had 21 in the first half alone. He said we got to find a way to have a different game with their guards. And what have you seen, Billy?
Well, they've done a fine job taking away that outside jump shot. Redick was 5 for 9 from 3. And Ewing was 5 for 7 from 3. So that's, 10 for 16. Not bad.
Davis turnaround baseliner. Rolls off the rim, and a second chance. Ager just bouncing around up above the rim a couple of times.
Ager got a piece of that twice. You notice now Duke has turned the ball over to Dockery to be the man bringing it up the court, freeing Ewing and Redick for some shots.
Ewing and Redick tonight have combined for 14 in this first half.
Without hitting a bunch of threes.
Melchione will take one. Top of the key.
A little out of his range. Little out of his range. Surprised he took it.
Hill whips it inside. Anderson on the blocks. Puts it up and in. And it's down to 2 with 2 minutes to play in the half.
Tough matchup inside for Melchione. Anderson much quicker.
Timeout called by Duke. A little flurry here by State.
Trust. It's everything. And nobody hands out trust. I don't have to tell you, trust is earned. Talent is one thing. Combine that talent with people you trust, and you will walk out on that court with a level of respect no one can match.
The Hartford, a company built on 194 years of trust. Ask your advisor what The Hartford can do for you.
The passage is intense, but if you complete the journey, you will find your destiny among the world's greatest warriors. The few, the proud, the Marines.
If it gets in your way, touch it and blast it. Metroid Prime Hunters, coming soon for Nintendo DS. Product not yet rated.
People everywhere are experiencing a breakthrough. I'm full! Taco Bell's Big Bell Value Menu featuring the Grande Soft Taco with double the beef and big cheesy taste. To keep your stomach and your wallet full, think outside the bun. Watch that. I got him. I see him. Give me the ball, Pops. Come get it. I think that's challenge. Are you serious? I won't even put my bag down. Come on, man. Don't let that man shoot you. I got nothing. You don't got nothing. Your mouth was dry. Have a Coke.
Daddy hung on your gun. You know what that is? That's the room time, son. Legend.
Enjoy the countdown to the Final Four with CBS Sports and Coca-Cola.
We are back at the Austin Regional, and look at these teams. The last time they were in the Elite Eight, including West Virginia, that went on to the Final Four back in 1959.
Ball hit Reddick on the foot. Good full court pressure by Hill. Yeah, that was the West Virginia team led by the great Jerry West. A Final Four that also included the incredible Oscar Robertson, maybe two of the greatest that ever played the game. And neither one able to come away with the championship.
Duke just turned it over for the 10th time in this game. As we move inside of 2 minutes before the half. And Michigan State can tie it with a 2, take the lead. Oh, where is that going?
Well, they're going to say that Melchione touched the ball. He actually didn't touch the ball. He hit Hill's arm and committed a foul. A little bit of a makeup there. Mike Krzyzewski didn't like the call, and he's saying, why are you calling it from that side of the floor?
It's like they're checking out a replay.
Well, I think they're checking out to see if it was hit. Are we going to put 35 seconds back on the clock, or was the... Take a look right here. Watch Melchione. See, he hit him on the arm. Should have been a foul. If you know, and here's what's interesting. If you're looking at the clock, if you don't call it a foul, then Hill threw the ball out of bounds, and it should be Duke's ball.
Exactly.
Yeah,
something's got to be off there.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense why you'd look at it.
But that's not a reviewable call in terms of they can't overrule the fact that they've already said it's off of Duke. They can't change that on a replay.
Right, but there you can see where Melchione, no question, he hit Hill on the arm.
His Austin Regional just loaded here with Michigan State and Duke, and then later tonight, Kentucky and Utah. These four teams have been to 10 Final Fours since 1996 combined. All of them have been to at least one Final Four, and a total of 4 championships. There's Hill.
Pulled up on the shot. Boy, Michigan State doing a great job on the offensive glass. Weren't able to get that one, but they are crashing the boards. They're sending 4 men to the glass. And that means that if Duke can get it, they should be able to break somebody long for an easy basket.
Reddick steps back. 3 is wide. Back out to Ewing. And he'll pull it back.
Hill had just enough hand up there to take away Reddick's look.
Bouncing it in. Williams, we've seen this a lot tonight. And this one rolls off the front of the rim.
Well, Michigan State just controlling the glass. They've got 13.5 rebound margin advantage. #1 in the Big Ten.
Timeout called by the Spartans. 55 seconds to go in the half.
No, I feel all right now. I feel pretty good, y'all.
The SS Chevys are back. 6 cars, 1,926 horsepower. Chevy, an American revolution.
Billy, tomorrow the regional final in Albuquerque. They'll be conference mates next year in the Big East, Louisville and West Virginia. I love the way the Mountaineers have been playing in this tournament. And then you got Rick Pitino trying to do something that's never been done in the tournament before by any coach.
Taking 3 teams to the Final Four, 3 separate schools. Providence, which he did so well. Kentucky, which he took there 3 times, winning 1 national crown. And can he do it with Louisville?
Hill, that would have given him the lead, the 3. Second chance, Davis? No. He was on the line. Duke ball, 43 seconds.
43 seconds. They're going to have to give up the ball. And again, I really think, Jim, Redick averages 15 shots a game. He's had minimal shots today and actually has taken a couple of bad shots. You've got to give Michigan State some credit. They've got the right kind of athlete to guard him. 6'4", 6'5", get their hands up in his face, and he has not had many good looks.
Davis sits down from Michigan State. Redick has missed his last 4 from the field, Billy.
He's had Ager on him, he's had Brown on him, he's had Hill on him. 3 guys that really match up well defensively.
You got an 8-second differential on the game clock. Duke working it down with the 2-point lead.
You ain't going to try to take him off the dribble?
Could be. Now, remember, Davis is out. Williams, they may be looking for him down low. Under 10 on the shot clock. Dockery, pin, 4 seconds, and that's a turnover again committed by the Blue Devils. They're 11th.
That was a good backdoor cut idea by Melchione, but Anderson was able to get a leg out and stopped him.
David McClure comes in. Defensive purposes for Duke, and Davis returns for Michigan State. 10 seconds. 10 seconds to tie it or take the lead at halftime. Ager, jump step, and they're going to call a foul on Williams. He thought it was all ball again.
I would have to agree it was all ball. He could have blocked it with either hand. But a failing by Duke not to stop the dribbler. Without question, that was all ball. You notice how his hands go straight up in the air, Jim, when he blocks the shot. So he doesn't come down with a chopping motion. I thought it was a pretty good block.
That's 2 fouls on Sheldon Williams and Maurice Ager, the junior from Detroit. His scoring average jumped 5 points this year to 13-plus points a game, and he's got 1 more here to tie it.
When's the last time you saw a team have the number 1, the number 3, and the number 5 best free throw shooter in a league? That's what Michigan State has. In the case of Ager, he's number 5. Allen Anderson was number 1. Shannon Brown was number 3. Kevin Tolbert was number 2. So 1, 2, 3, and 5.
That one ties it. Here we go, Billy. 4 seconds to go in the half. Melchione.
Plenty of time to dribble all the way.
Dockery lost it at midcourt. Anderson has it. And the clock didn't start, Billy, and they're going to get a basket out of it. Hold on a minute. Krzyzewski sees it too. Michigan State's running off the floor, and the clock never started. There's no way they would have had 4 seconds to work with from the point it was inbounded till it was taken away at midcourt, and Anderson scored.
Now the assistant coaches from Duke are doing the right thing. They're calling their team back. The coaches from Michigan State saying, let's go to the locker room. Without question, the officials will see that that clock did not start.
Boy, they ran to the locker room, the Spartans.
Here you go. The clock
is not starting.
See that there?
Look at Anderson was ready to launch it. He thought it had to be out of time. He sees now the clock has malfunctioned. He goes ahead and lays it in inside of a second.
Without question, Jim, there's 2.5 seconds that transpired as the ball was thrown in bounds.
That ball was laid in, what would you say, with about 0.6 of a second to go?
But look at this, it's funny. Duke's players are back out on the floor. Tom Izzo has his door locked.
But here's the point. What time was on the clock when the ball went in? If it's 0.6 of a second, they've got, I guess, make the call that obviously more than a second would have disappeared. Look at Anderson. He was ready to launch it at midcourt. Michigan State's returning. And now everyone's exiting.
It looks like
it looks like. Yeah, we're hearing they waved it off. Yeah, they've just taken it off the board, Billy.
And Tom Izzo was not out as part of that conversation. Mike Krzyzewski never left the floor. Let's say 1,001, 1,002, I realize different speeds, 1,003, 1,004. So basically, you know, when Anderson had that ball ready to launch it, that clock should have been off.
Yep. You see he scored.
And you don't give Anderson a lot of credit. He looked up and saw the clock, had the presence of mind to say, hey, I'm taking this to the basket. I've got 4.2 seconds to go.
Pretty shrewd stuff, I'm telling you. But they're going to take the basket off And we're tied at 32. Tied at 32. Greg Gumbel coming up with the singular at the half.
Monday, this is it. The episode you voted for as your all-time favorite.
Did you ever think of hugging me, you jerk?
It's pretty hard to hug someone who's trying to kill you.
Everybody Loves Raymond. Then it's a 2.5 Men So Sexy.
Sippy's getting his freak on.
And so outrageous, there's only one way to describe it.
Hootenanny Yum Yum.
2.5 Men after Everybody Loves Raymond, CBS Monday.
Well, you can do anything but take the old mama blue suede shoes. Let's go, guys.
The 6-speed, 270 horsepower Acura TL adjusts to the way each individual accelerates, brakes, and takes on the curves. Because no two drivers are alike. The Acura TL, a higher form of performance.
We all have some things we really wish for. And only a bank that gets to know you can help you make them possible. Making more possible. LaSalle Bank.
Wrap yourself in sheer luxury and unshakable confidence while the stars look on in envy. The 2005 Jaguar X-Type. The only cure for temptation is to surrender to it. Can you resist? Allow your Jaguar dealer to indulge you in the most exquisite sales experience in the industry.
CBS Sports presents Singular at the Half, sponsored by Singular, raising the bar.
Hi, everyone. Welcome once again to our studios and Singular at the Half. We are tied at halftime in Austin, Michigan State and Duke at 32 apiece. Greg Gumbel along with Clark Kellogg and Seth Davis. We have plenty to talk about. We also have another game in progress that's taking place out in Syracuse, NC State and Wisconsin. Let's join Vern Lundquist and Bill Raftery.
North Carolina State up by 7. They've gotten there by hitting 6 of 8 from 3. And Wisconsin, a team that's averaged only 7 turnovers in the last 5 games, already billed with 9 turnovers in this one.
I could hear Bo Ryan saying, it's just that we don't turn the ball over. A tough guy, and his team responds to him, but they're not getting shots. You must get shots. There you can get some rebounds, and obviously the opponent, like State, knows how to run their offense, get good looks, particularly the threes on the slapback pass.
In trying to find answers, Bo Ryan has already gone 10 deep. He's played 10 in the first half.
And they haven't played good post defense. Right now, Nixon inside trying to defend. Here's that slapback.
Here's Julius Hodge, kind of a quiet first half. That one misfires. And Jason Chappell, a seldom used tall post player at 6'10", grabs the rebound. Largest lead in the ball game was 10 at 23-13 for North Carolina State.
Boy, State's done a great job scouting. They just took that stagger, and look at the denial.
And if you're a Wisconsin fan just joining us and you're wondering where is Mike Wilkinson, he's on the bench with 2 fouls, and he has committed 5 turnovers already.
And there's the guy that's got to light it up for him. With 4 seconds left, they got a tough shot under duress.
Jumper, Hodge off the mark.
It comes out a little bit funny, doesn't it, that shot? Looks like he's got his left hand on it too much. Of course, I'm telling the guy that sort of put this team on his shoulders the last month.
Julius Hodge, though, is 1 of 7 in this ball game. Hodge with that 3-point play to defeat UConn last week in the second round. jumper way outside Chambliss, and he drew nothing but air. Winner of this one goes on to take on either North Carolina or Villanova on Sunday afternoon, with a spot in the Final Four in the balance. Interesting scene here with 30-some thousand on hand. Immediately behind Mike Wilkinson in the Wisconsin bench, the Carolina Blue, and they are seated right next to the North Carolina State Red.
Well, they are just committing fouls too. There's a lot of mistakes you don't see. Chappell that time with the leg thrust. The smoothness that you see of Wisconsin's offense all year, non-existent this first half. This is one of those, let's stay together and get inside. There's something about the comfort of a locker room for a coach. Hey, fellas, I mean, maybe a little coercing and maybe some X and O work done on the board, but just to get them back in this game, they are out of rhythm totally, and it's really a testimony to great preparation, I think, by State on the defensive end.
Ilya Evtimov will shoot another. Perfect this trip. 28-19 with 2:19 to go before the break. Evtimov he was asking yesterday, how many people did you say are going to be here? I said close to 32,000. Wow.
He and his brother, a great story, came over here to play high school basketball for a couple of years. Bosco ended up at Carolina. Another one, huh? Oh my goodness, they just can't get out of their own way.
Hell ball, possession there on North Carolina State.
They've just been defended beautifully. Nothing open. Look at the help. We've seen this from the beginning of the game. Engine, Atzer had stolen one early. Evtimov went down and played a passing lane. That's just great coordination.
Hodge 3 points, the rest of the team 25. Now he does have 3 assists, each of which led to a 3-point goal. He just turned around and he urged the stand to wake up. Yeah, give me a little noise here.
That's the
How casual was that?
That's the wave I get at home.
And there's a jumper from way outside by Evtimov, and Wisconsin trying to find some offense against this really tenacious North Carolina State defense. No foul call.
And they got one here, Vern, under reach by Atzer.
Watch Julius Hodge here as he walks it up. Come on. Come on.
Get on my back. Oh, and of course, in the Connecticut game, they tell me that Herbie was thinking timeout, and he's a coach. Don't worry about it. Let me handle this. And of course, he drove off of Gay. A terrific finish in that game for State.
In and out for Tucker. Herbie Sendak in his 9th season as the head coach.
I'm glad I have you when we talk to Herbie. You were a much better student.
Oh, goodness.
You need a dictionary when you're saying hello to him.
He does have a vocabulary, doesn't he? He was a 3.95 grade point average graduate of Carnegie Mellon with a major in industrial management.
Unbelievable. He probably had to stay. He didn't go on summer vacation because he got that A-.
There's the miss on the reverse from Atzer, and here comes Wisconsin again. Down by 28-20, nearing the first half, and another turnover, and double digits now.
Well, Vern, you've got to do what you can do best. And I don't think the ability to bounce is something that you want Chappell doing, or Chappell, I should say.
Double-digit turnovers for Wisconsin.
And Vern, this is not as bad as it could be. That's one consolation for Wisconsin when they get in the locker room. This could be big for them. Good job. That's where you want to do the damage.
Well, Herb Sendak, we mentioned he was also valedictorian of his high school. He mentioned an abacus none of his kids were quite sure what. And I love this one. He was asked about matchups. He said, our paradigm is a little more holistic.
Well, it's, let me interpret that for you. It's the whole is more important than one part of the equation. It's over Brackman. How's he going to match up against the player, correct? Am I in the hunt?
You are.
I'm in the hunt.
See that LaSalle education.
Wow.
You never knew 35 years ago you'd have to call on that.
To all those parents who choose the minivan over the sports car, the vacation in Orlando over Antigua, chicken fingers over chicken cordon bleu. Just think, soon you'll have to do none of those things. Look into retirement savings with the third largest public company in the world. Retirement Loans Insurance. AIG. We know money.
Herb Sendak, in his 9th season, he was the coach at Miami of Ohio, became an assistant along with many others to Rick Pitino. He started out as a graduate assistant living in an apartment, not getting paid very much at all to Pitino back in the 80s. Went with Rick Pitino to the University of Kentucky, was on that staff with Billy Donovan and Mike Bray.
I guess he asked the priest of Providence if he could draw on his salary, and the old joke, they gave him crayons. He did not make much money, but when you love something, you have a passion as he does, he got his rewards.
Final 20 seconds. Here's Hodge. 10 on the shot clock, about a 2.2-second differential. Offense. Little hook.
I think he may have been on the baseline as well.
Yes. Okay. And with 5.8 to go in the half. Gavin Grant back on the floor for the Wolfpack.
Got a push.
Chambliss. And a blocking foul is called on Enganatsur. That's his second.
This is a big play, Vern. You get a chance for 2. You might get it to 8. He is moving, and the ref's right on top of it. I'm sure Herbie didn't like it, but that's one of those, just get to the baseline, challenge the jump shot. This could give them some life.
Well, they've still got a chance to pick up 1 here.
And this will be gathering the forces by Bo Ryan's. Got to get them calm, get their head in the game.
Chambliss, the senior, gets 1 of 2. And it's a 9-point game.
There's your halftime score. NC State by 30-21 over Wisconsin. Thank you for joining us here on Singular at the Half. We'll send you back to Austin for the second half of your game after this.
CBS Sports presents Singular at the Half. Sponsored by Singular. Raising the bar.
For better TV. A movement that in just 1 year found more new customers turning to DirecTV than all other cable and satellite providers combined. It's a movement for top-ranking customer satisfaction and 100% digital quality on every channel. There's a movement. You in?
Only Taco Bell's Fiesta Taco Salad takes classic ingredients and updates them with a tangy, chunky salsa and crunchy lime-seasoned tortilla strips. Made right when you order it.
Check it out.
They're totally checking this out. For a great-tasting taco salad, think outside the bun.
Enterprise Rent-A-Car for our trip?
Yeah, they're everywhere.
Even airports.
See? Airports, too.
Hello, welcome to Enterprise. Let me help you with that. Wow, the friendly service of Enterprise is everywhere.
Pick Enterprise. We'll pick you up.
Hoop fans, don't miss your chance to go to the 2006 NCAA Men's Final Four at the RCA Dome in Indianapolis, April 1st and 3rd. Log on to ncaasports.com to apply for your tickets online. That's ncaasports.com.
And don't forget the 2006 Women's Final Four, April 2nd and 4th at the Fleet Center in Boston. Log on to ncaasports.com to apply for your tickets online. That's ncaasports.com, the official website of the NCAA.
And now the Singular Naismith flashback. David Thompson's ability led him to be recognized as a 1975 Naismith Player of the Year. He averaged just under 30 points per game while being named first-team All-American. Now vote for the 2005 winner for the Naismith Trophy, presented by Singular. Text the word VOTE to 26222 on your wireless phone for the official ballot. For the first time, fans will join the Naismith Board of Selectors and count for 25% of the vote.
Greg Gumbel with a reminder, these are the games that are coming your way next year on CBS. Utah meets second seed Kentucky, and the top seed in the Syracuse Regional, North Carolina, takes on Villanova. Those games still to come. Singular at the Half continues after this.
No time
approach. 2 seconds left, and he's got to put it up.
More bars in more places. That's the goal of Singular's all-over network. With the largest digital voice and data coverage in America, thanks to Singular and AT&T Wireless joining forces. The new Singular, raising the bar.
Imagine your baby in a chop shop. Thieves profit while you pay higher insurance rates. Allstate's fraud team is on it, so you pay less. Crime doesn't pay. Neither should you. That's Allstate, Stan. Are you in good hands?
If your last encounter with fruit was on a Hawaiian shirt, you'll want to try this. Introducing the Fresh Fruit Bowl and Cup. Honeydew, cantaloupe, pineapple, and grapes with a low-fat yogurt dip. Only at Wendy's. It's better here.
Sell your car on Autotrader.com. You get detailed descriptions, color photos, and more buyers than your local newspaper. So don't just list your car, sell it on Autotrader.com.
I ran the 800. I studied mechanical engineering and industrial design. I was a conference champion. I graduated with a GPA of 3.2. It took hard work, discipline, and stamina. And believe me, I rely on those things every day raising my daughter.
There are over 360,000 NCAA student athletes, and just about all of us are going pro in something other than sports.
As we search for ways to go, every day we should grow. Knowing is beautiful.
Vijay Singh, Ernie Els, Phil Mickelson, and Tiger Woods are all on top of their games. Soon the world's best battle for the coveted green jacket, the Masters on CBS.
We're back in Austin. Duke was held without a basket the final 4 minutes of the first half, and the game is tied.
One car has factory-installed keyless remote start, and it's not a Honda Accord. Only one car has the first and largest 4-panel panoramic roof available, and it's not a Toyota Camry. And it's not a Nissan Altima 2.5 that has the most powerful engine. It's the first ever Pontiac G6. With action, anything is possible.
Dave's got Vin Diesel, plus a visit to the Late Show convention tonight.
The entirely new all-wheel drive GS. The next phenomenon from Lexus.
So you called Mr. Bennett's cell phone?
Yes.
And you spoke for 40 minutes that Mr. Bennett is being charged for?
It was important.
How so?
I got a hole in one.
Your Honor, it was miniature golf.
Why pay for calls you didn't make? Switch to U.S. Cellular.
Right now, get unlimited Call Me minutes, so there's no charge for incoming calls. U.S. Cellular, we connect with you.
People all over are waking up to a new kind of performance sedan. This is the first ever Pontiac G6. And things are a lot different in here. The The first ever G6 starts around $19,800 after available cash back. With action, anything is possible. Pontiac, official performance machines of the NCAA.
Defining Success, presented by American Express. Duke head coach Mike Krzyzewski knows what it takes to succeed in college and beyond. Tommy Amaker, a 4-year starter under Coach K, earned his place in the Duke Athletic Hall of Fame. Now as head coach at Michigan, Amaker's leadership promotes the morals necessary for success in athletics and life. CBS Sports exclusive coverage of the Men's Basketball Championship is sponsored by Autotrader.com, Wendy's, Miller, and by Pontiac.
We're back in Austin and the second half about to begin. Michigan State scoring the last 6 points of the first half to go to the locker room tied at 32.
Jim, you take a look at the three-point shooting. Michigan State 0 for 6, Duke 2 for 7. In that first game that Duke beat Michigan State, they were 11 for 20 from 3. So it's a major, major difference in this ball game.
We've just started the second half. First possession, Spartans, and that was for the lead. Michigan State tallying the last 6 points of the first half to tie it at 32. Duke led almost the entire first half. The biggest margin was in fact 6, but it's again another slow night for J.J. Redick to this point. He's missed his last 4 from the field. Now launching a 3 in front of the rim. He'll follow.
Good pickup by Ager.
And let's take a look at our halftime stats brought to you by Lexus. And look at the field goal percentage. Duke held them down under 40%, Billy, but
there's that.
Yeah.
And also right here, 12 turnovers. And Jim, when you take a look at who made the turnovers, Ewing had 3, Dockery had 4. So the key backcourt components, 7 turnovers.
It's Ewing, jump shot, rattles out, and it's Anderson with the rebound. That last foul was on Ager. And that was his second. There's the shot pulled down by Sheldon Williams. And I might add, official scores have Sheldon Williams with only 1 foul. One time it looked like they had him for 2, but just 1 on the big man inside for Duke. He's having another strong performance, leading the Devils with 13. Now bullying his way in and heading back to the line for a couple. Now right before the half, if you missed it, the game was tied 32. Duke inbounding, and watch how the clock does not start. And then a turnover. Alan Anderson thought about launching it, sees he's got time, lays it in inside of a second. What looked like for a moment maybe the lead going to the locker room, but they took the basket away after reviewing it on the replay. And the right call. That's the second foul, by the way, on Davis a moment ago.
Jim, you are right. It is the right call. And isn't it interesting how that has been put into play by the Rules Committee to go over and check at the end of half and end of the ball game for fairness for both teams. Good piece of officiating.
Sheldon Williams, the most interesting look to that free throw style. Kind of a sidewinder going in there. Side spin, but he nets 2, and Duke's back in front.
Marcus Nelson on Neitzel.
You see Shav Randolph out high for the Blue Devils. He picked up his second foul with 11 minutes to go in the half, and then set the final 11 minutes. From the corner, that's a 3, and that again would have been for the lead for the Spartans. Pass dangerous out high, and it's Ewing slamming it in for the basket.
Jim, remember one of the first plays of this ball game when Ewing went up and stopped the lob pass to Brown? There again, he goes right over the top of Neitzel. Tremendous leaping ability.
That's the first basket by the Blue Devils in 6 minutes, going back to the first half. Ager drives in, comes up short, didn't finish, but Davis keeps it alive. Again, another dangerous pass out to Neitzel.
Yeah, you don't want to throw that ball out long, lobbing like that, because if it's picked off, it's an easy basket for your opponent.
Like we saw a moment ago. Anderson, 3, pure.
Beautiful follow through by Anderson. And that time, Williams stepped out much too far away from the basket. You know Neitzel's not going to take the long jump shot.
That's the first 3 of the night to drop for the Spartans. They're 1 out of 8 from behind the arc now, and a turnover, the 13th of the game by Duke.
Well, Duke has got to get the ball out of Nelson's hands. He is not the guy to initiate the offense. He's a finisher, not a starter.
CBS Sports Line puts you on the court for this year's men's tournament. Get up to the minute scoring and streaming video highlights for each regional semifinal game. CBSSportsLine.com. Chris Hill now running the controls here as he checks in for the Spartans. A basket would give them their first lead of the night. And Ewing comes over to help out, and 19 on the shot clock. Davis may have gotten poked in the eye.
He did. That was good help from the weak side by Ewing coming over, because Davis was in pretty good low post position that time on Williams.
And Brown, and Michigan State with the 3, leads for the first time tonight.
Boy, Michigan State's doing a great job defensively, that wherever Reddick goes, even on transition, they find him. So he's never open on the wing as he is normally when he gets off a lot of three-point shots. They kind of like have a radar on him. And again, they can, no matter whether they switch or the original man, there's a great steal.
Look at Brown take it away from Ewing.
He's a good finisher.
And he does indeed finish. And Michigan State ahead by 4.
Mike Krzyzewski cannot like the way his team has handled the ball on the perimeter in this ballgame.
They come out of the locker room, they take the lead, and they tell Duke, we are so into this tonight.
I don't look at myself as a basketball coach. I look at myself as a leader who happens to coach basketball. When they get out into the workplace, they're armed with not just a jump shot or a dribble. I want you armed for life. You know, I want you to develop as a player, I want you to develop as a student, and I want you to develop as a human being. My life isn't about playing games. That's why my card is American Express.
Throughout the NCAA tournament, you'll be voting for Pontiac's game-changing performances.
You'll help decide which schools will win up to $150,000 in general scholarship fund contributions from Pontiac.
And while online, you can record your voice over your favorite game-changing performance.
And if we pick your play-by-play, you could win a trip to this year's championship game, and you can also register to win one of these new Pontiacs.
So go to ncaasports.com/Pontiac and vote today.
Because you're calling the action.
What is taste loss?
Am I at risk?
I thought the government wiped out taste loss in the 1950s.
If you have questions, we have the answers for you.
How can we fight taste loss?
Protect yourself with a great-tasting, less-filling Miller Lite. And please, keep asking questions.
Is now a good time to talk about taste loss?
Any time is a good time to talk about taste loss. Miller, good call.
Service?
Cupboard.
Gesundheit. NyQuil. You sleep great. Sleep like lumber.
What?
Like the infant.
Oh.
Sleep like home. Good night.
NyQuil, the nighttime sniffling, sneezing, coughing, aching, stuffy head fever, best sleep you ever got with a cold medicine.
If your last encounter with fruit was on a Hawaiian shirt, you'll want to try this. Introducing the Fresh Fruit Bowl and Cup. Honeydew, cantaloupe, pineapple, and grapes with a low-fat yogurt dip. Only at Wendy's. It's better here.
If it gets in your way, touch it and blast it. Metroid Prime Hunters, coming soon for Nintendo DS. Product not yet rated.
Duke to inbound, down 4. Jim Nance and Billy Packer in the Austin Regional Sweet 16 game. Kentucky and Utah later tonight here.
And if you're Michigan State, keep the ball out of Ewing's hands. Force Nelson to handle the ball. making Reddick a guy that doesn't have many open looks. And now if you're going to have Ewing handling the ball primarily, he doesn't get many open looks.
Reddick with the jumper, and again, his last two have been off the front of the rim. He's 2 for 8.
Yeah, that's because the matchups athletically are really tough for him. Torbert, Hill, and Brown all giving him trouble.
Davis working hard for it. Too strong, and Williams. No one's going to outmuscle him for that one. 8 unanswered, though, by the Spartans. 8 unanswered.
And again, now it's Torbert on Reddick. Reddick just not getting the ball in a position to shoot.
Ewing, he'll take that 3.
Got hit on the arm, no call.
Makes the appeal, says he hit me right on the wrist. No call. Last 8 to the Spartans and the lead.
Outstanding. Yeah, I just can't drink the regular stuff anymore. It's got no flavor, no kick. It tastes like mouth. But this tastes crisp, fresh. You come home from the park, take a big gulp of this. It'll knock the taste of tennis ball right out of your yap.
At Blockbuster, we're changing everything. Are you ready for what's next?
They just keep it coming.
Introducing All You Can Watch, just $14.99 a month. Pick the plan that's right for you. Either rent movies in store or rent at Blockbuster.com, where you get your movies by mail. Right now, your first month is just $9.99. Prices and participation may vary. The new Blockbuster. Are you ready for more?
Look at this place. What do these guys have that we don't have?
Well, they do have the rotary-powered Mazda RX-8, the Tribute, Mazda 3, 2005 Automobile Magazine All-Star, and the thing no one else has, Zoom, Zoom.
Okay, we got it.
It's the Mazda's on the Move sales event. For a limited time, lease the Mazda 3i 4-door for just $179 a month for 36 months with $19.99 due at lease signing.
Call you back.
Hurry, offers end March 31st.
I like to make food that makes people happy. Denny's new Meat Lover Scramble comes with bacon, sausage, and ham mixed right in with the eggs. And the Heartland Scramble. Then I add bacon, sausage, hash browns, and pancakes. And they're just $4.99. Denny's, we're cooking now.
Class of '94, here I come.
When you want to make a good impression, Enterprise Rent-A-Car will pick you up free and get you going in style.
Looking good, Moose.
Pick Enterprise. We'll pick you up.
My sister, 10 years ago. She was found in the parking lot.
The autopsy shows an injury to the head.
Sunday, to solve this case.
Did you get rough with women?
Maybe we thought this girl was up for a walk on the wild side.
Means becoming the killer's next victim.
Thanks for coming so late.
A new cold case, CBS Sunday.
CBS Sports exclusive coverage of the Men's Basketball Championship is sponsored by Lexus and by American Express.
Let's take a look at our Pontiac game changer, Billy.
Well, a very good offensive maneuver here by Michigan State. Davis and Brown operating a little two-man game. Screen, roll, and then fade out. And look at what Davis does. Instead of taking it into Williams, he pulls up, hits the short jumper, well executed.
Michigan State leading by 4. As that Spartan defense has really turned it on against Duke. Allowing only 1 basket by the Devils over the last 9 minutes. The Duke offense has stalled, and the Spartans have taken control of the game. Leading by 4, make it 6.
Nice job by Torpet to recognize with the dribble he is quicker than Shavlik Randolph and kept the possession to himself.
And the Devils face their largest tournament deficit now. They were down 4 to Mississippi State last Sunday at one time. Randolph lost it. Is off Randolph. Back to Michigan State.
Randolph is going to come out. Mike Krzyzewski looking for a lineup. Jim, we talked to Mike at practice yesterday, and we talked about fresh legs. And I said, is there any way, with all his experience, can you bring a team into the tournament with fresh legs? And he said, we did not have them, but we got them yesterday. But today, they really look flat. Not a lot of explosive quickness except for Ewing.
He talked about Tuesday how the team had no legs at practice Tuesday at Cameron. rebounded Wednesday. And speaking of rebounds, again, it's Williams.
But for Duke, they now find themselves very similar to where they were in the Georgia Tech game. They went the last 11 minutes with only one field goal. Very similar to where they are right now.
Well, he was a young man who shook up America with his music. Became the biggest star in the world. Talking about Elvis, the original movie event of the year, and it comes this May to CBS. Torbert was whistled for that one, his third.
I think Tom Izzo doing a terrific job the way he's utilizing his bench in this ball game, keeping people fresh at all times and keeping a lot of pressure on Redick.
That one almost got away. To the side, Dockery's first shot of the game, and it's off the mark.
And a wide open look. There you have Anderson. Too big for Redick.
Hill, he's cold tonight from the field.
Got numbers.
Ewing takes middle and reaching in. Trannon on the hold.
But you can afford a foul by Trannon. He does a good job getting back. Good transition defense by Michigan State.
Boy, Chris Hill loaded up the three back there. Could have put the Spartans up 9. He is now 0 for 6. Billy, Chris Hill, the senior for Michigan State. Inbound to Redick. Down low.
And look at that collapsing defense. 3-on-1. Redick nowhere to go.
Arrow belongs to Duke.
Jim, let's take a look at Redick. Against Virginia in the ACC tournament, 3 for 12 threes. Then he had the big game against North Carolina State, 7 for 12 threes. But then against Delaware State, 1 for 6 threes. And against Mississippi State, 2 for 9 threes. Having all kinds of problems out there.
Ewing slips. And it comes out to Michigan State. Big numbers. Torbert travel. He never could get the handle.
There was a situation. You didn't have a primary ball handler. Torbert's a good finisher, but the pass came to him a little bit too early.
2 straight empty trips for Michigan State. Remember this stretch. They were up 6 with chances to get a little working margin. But again, Duke, if you go back to the first half, the last 10 minutes, they just can't get anything to go. Melchione. And there's a big one. And hit the vital shot at many points during the season. At 3, cuts it to 3. Anderson looks to match it at the other end. And he does.
2 from exactly the same spot. He has been one of the few guys to answer from 3 in this ball game.
Maybe Melchione will be the player for Duke. And this is going against Williams for elbowing Trannon.
How about that? Trannon comes in. You talk about valuable minutes. All you're asking him to do, not put up numbers, just give minutes, and then pick up a foul on Williams.
Again, to clarify, the second on Sheldon Williams. Here in Austin. Later, it'll be Utah and Kentucky. They played here in the state of Texas back in 1998 in the championship game down the road, down I-35 in San Antonio. They meet for the 6th time in the NCAA since 1993.
Neitzel's been doing a pretty good job with dribble penetration. He's taken some all the way tonight. There he goes again.
Yep, steps up and back to the rim. It's Melchione. Now, Melchione, I was about to get into this. He has had a couple of explosive halves late in the year at St. John's, where he had 16.5. Against North Carolina, at Carolina, 15.5. And now as Coach K looks for a spark, Melchione's with a rebound and a 3 here in the last minute.
Ewing kind of taking over as he did against Mississippi State, taking that ball inside. It was not a good shot, so not a wise foul.
Anderson's first. It'll put the co-captain of the Blue Devils and the winningest player in college basketball today at the line. A part of 115 career wins. Daniel Ewing.
You know, Jim, Anderson has hit the 2 big threes. What's interesting about him in his career, in his first 2 years, and this is hard to believe the way he's shooting them tonight, he took only 18 threes and made 6 of them. So only 18 threes in 2 years. Tonight, taken 2 and hit both.
Trannon and Ager go out for Michigan State as Davis returns.
Just fresh bodies, and Tom Izzo over there banging both fists together, saying, I want body contact. Miss a pair.
Michigan State hitting 3 of its last 4 from 3 after missing the first 7 in the game. And this man with a couple of them, Anderson, and that's a steal. Threw it right to Sheldon Williams.
That's a wise move by Williams. He didn't realize at first that Brown was behind him. It's the kind of thing where you can hand the ball back and Michigan State just pick it right off. It was smart to hang on.
Bograkis is in for Michigan State, and he is draped all over Reddick. Following him, Ewing underneath. And it's Bograkis who dropped back down and made the steal. Up ahead to Davis. Whips it back out high. Anderson 3. Yes!
What did I say? 6 for 18 over 3 years, and he's hit 3 in a row. He's had half as many tonight as he had in 2 years of play at Michigan State.
Forget tonight. How about just in this half? All 3 in this half by Anderson. Reddick kicks it out. Melchione, can he do it again? Yes. Another 3.
Nice job that time by Reddick on the kick out.
Melchione seems to be the one guy right now for Duke who has created that spark.
Jim, a little blood maybe on Sheldon Williams. Referee calling the time.
Alan Anderson with 15 points, including 3 threes in this half, sparking the Spartans.
From the minute my son was born, I knew I wanted to be that dad. The guy who can show you how to throw a perfect spiral, fixing bikes and skateboard ramps, going to ball games. My father was that dad, and now I've become that dad. That's why I bought a Saturn.
The all-new 7-passenger 2005 Saturn Relay with the security of OnStar and DVD player standard. Lease a new 2005 Saturn Relay front-wheel drive 2 for $299 a month. Residency restrictions apply. Call for details.
Sprint connects the PGA of America to the world by building a custom wireless and wireline high-speed network so business people can stay in touch and the media can work, all straight from the course, all seamlessly. And Sprint does this while saving the PGA time and setup costs. With Sprint, the PGA is connected, efficient, beautiful. Detailed case studies at sprint.com.
When my allergies get really bad, I feel like I'm in a fog. Jared! Now, I'm Claritin Clear, which means I'm staying in control of my allergies and staying focused. Only Claritin is proven to make me as alert and focused as someone without allergies. Claritin gives me non-drowsy relief from my worst sneezing, runny nose, and itchy eyes for 24 hours. That's good, because I've got to stay alert all the time. Jared? 24-hour non-drowsy Claritin. Live Claritin Clear.
I don't look at myself as a basketball coach. I look at myself as a leader who happens to coach basketball. When they get out into the workplace, they're armed with not just a jump shot or a dribble. I want you armed for life. You know, I want you to develop as a player. I want you to develop as a student. And I want you to develop as a human being. My life isn't about playing games. That's why my card is American Express.
Greg Gumbel in New York. Back to Austin in a moment after we show you what the Wisconsin Badgers have been up to. On a 12-4 run, Clayton Hansen, his second 3 of the second half. The Badgers didn't have a single three-pointer in the first half. They've hit 3 in the second half and pulled it within 2 of NC State. Let's get you back to Austin, Texas. Jim Nance and Billy Packard.
Reddick with only 5 points, and Duke is down 6.
Jim, credit a lot of that to Tom Izzo's defense. He's switched different people on him, not giving him any good looks from the outside. Reddick may have found an answer on that last maneuver. Penetrate and kick out, become the playmaker instead of the primary shooter, because he's being guarded by one tough man, and they're picking him up whenever he makes penetration.
Brown back out high, no one there.
Oh, good play by Reddick.
Ewing, Shields, follow-up, Melchione.
Jim, Melchione, as you pointed out, how many times has he given the big lift to this ball club? That time he did it with good hustle play. Normally it's the outside jumper.
Well, he's doing it tonight. He has been the force in the second half to keep Duke in it. As Anderson gives it up, Ager gets the roll.
Anderson having a terrific night. He realized that Sheldon Williams was waiting on him on that drive and gave it up. There you go, 2 men on Reddick.
As soon as he touches it, they double up and a steal again. State, tough pass, it got there, and good night. Wow.
Ager, Brown, Hill, Anderson. Kind of interchangeable parts that Tom Izzo's using beautifully in this game.
Michigan State now leads by 8. Reddick at last. A 3.
And Tom Izzo upset with Brown by not getting out there and forcing Reddick to put the ball on the floor with the dribble.
Reddick's first basket in 17 minutes playing time. As we move inside of 10 minutes to go in the game. The 5 seed leads by 5. Davis
gets his own.
Ball squirts loose, and they're going to whistle Sheldon Williams for his 3rd.
Wow, that was
how about this pass, Billy?
Yeah, but this is a beautiful pass and great catch. And we talked about how Brown can go up with anybody in the country. Former Mr. Illinois, Mr. Basketball.
And Ager.
That was Ager.
Just absolutely hammers it down. 3 on Sheldon Williams. Davis, 2 shots.
Great job on offensive rebounding by Davis against Sheldon Williams. And now Sheldon Williams has to go out.
All kinds of subs come on the floor. Torbett returns. Bokrakis, Hill, Trannon. 4 subs in all for Michigan State. At one time.
Isn't it interesting, these interchangeable parts that Tom Izzo is using so beautifully. Now you got Torbert out on the floor, another one of those guys that can really guard. Now he's going to be on Ewing. And he gets an opportunity to rest Anderson, Brown, and Ager over there at this time to bring them fresh under the 10-minute mark.
Melchione driving. And a hold against the Spartans. You can vote for your Pontiac game-changing performance of each round. Nearly $150,000 of scholarship contributions is on the line, and you can take action. Vote now at ncaasports.com/Pontiac. That on Torbert is his 4th, Billy, so the first player to surface with foul trouble.
But not really foul trouble for this Michigan State team because, again, back to the interchangeable parts.
Inside, Reddick, and he lost the handle going in.
He sure did. Had a wide open layup.
20th turnover on Duke.
The team, as I said at the top, has turned the ball over this year 19 times more than they've had an assist, and it's really piling up on them tonight.
Nelson closes in, and then Randolph out high, shoves with the body.
Foolish foul. Where is Hill going? He's not going to shoot the ball from out there.
3 on Randolph, 3 on Duke in this half. As Ager comes in after a brief break, Torbett with the 4 goes out.
Gets a little rest. Torbett claps hands with Anderson over there. And you're going to have a fresh Michigan State club coming back into this ball game in a few minutes.
Trannon, they whip it around, back to Trannon, and the lead swells to 9.
That was Bokrakis that came up with a good inside interior passing. And Trannon, the football player, in a nice dish.
Reddick, look at this, takes the shot.
Bokrakis and Tom Izzo really on him. He doesn't want Reddick to get a look anywhere.
He walks all the way down the sideline with Bokrakis, but look at this. Ager answers back.
Well, Sheldon Williams is out right now. He's over there ready to come back in the ball game. You can see the difference it makes. Michigan State wisely taking the ball right to the hoop. And what Tom Izzo doesn't want is don't let Reddick get threes.
Reddick drives, and that'll send him to the line. An astonishing number of turnovers tonight by the Devils, already at 20, and we still have 8 minutes to go.
Jim, so many of these turnovers have created good offensive opportunities for Michigan State.
Ager with his third, and Reddick at the line for 2. His first free throws of the night.
You know, let's think about these Michigan State losses this year to put in perspective. They lost at Duke, we talked about. GW, who was very hot back in December, knocked them off. They lost at Wisconsin by 3. Illinois beat them rather handily. Then they lost that overtime game at Indiana by 4, which was not expected. And then in the Big Ten tournament, Iowa got them in that opening round by 2. So it's not like this team has been out of many ball games.
It was an Iowa team playing with a lot of desperation, too, trying to close the door on an invitation. And with that win over Michigan State, in fact, the Hawkeyes did make the field as an at-large. Ager. Back out to him. Top of the key. And out to Davis. Reggie Love, though, with the shove. 13 offensive rebounds in this game. So many second chances for the Spartans, who have taken the lead in this half by 6.
Bang.
I love the tender, crisp bacon cheddar ranch, the best they grow on trees. You get the veg all day, all the lotto tickets pay. There's a king who wants you to have it your way. That's the tender, crisp bacon cheddar ranch.
Come and get it.
The fans sitting here, and here, and here switched to Allstate car insurance last year. They saved an average of $338 a year. Are you in good hands?
Introducing Roundup Extended Control. It kills tough weeds fast, and now it also prevents. Just spray wherever you don't want weeds, and you won't get weeds for up to 1, 2, 3 full months. New Roundup Extended Control. Weeds have met their match.
NCIS investigates a murder on spring break.
And the writing indicates classic stalker.
Sounds like our guy.
He's in the Danville Correctional Facility.
It can't ever be easy. New NCIS Tuesday.
You got $1 million worth of talent.
You sell the tickets, I'll make the music.
You work your magic, Colonel, or by God, we're through.
Don't be cruel.
Greg Gumbel in New York. Back to Austin in a moment after we update you on what's happening in Syracuse. Sharif Chambliss, a three-pointer for Wisconsin here. The Badgers on a 21-7 run to grab the lead. They lead North Carolina State 41-37, 10:45 to play in the second half. Back to Jim and Billy in Austin.
Spartans never took the lead in this game until the second half, leading for the first time in the second half. And in fact, at one time it was 9. It's 6 right now with just under 8 minutes to play.
Davis out of the ball game, getting a rest right now. Williams back in for Duke.
Huge half for Anderson. Over Love. And it rattles out. Love swinging those arms. And Duke comes back trying to chip into that lead of Michigan State.
It's Bagrakis on Reddick right now. If Reddick is going to get some shots, now is the time to get it.
Williams. And that's a call against Hill of Michigan State.
I think it's going to be Trandon on the inside, Jim. I'm not sure. Could be on a reach.
It is on Hill, and it's his second. You see the turnover difference here, almost double the amount by Duke.
And points off of turnovers, 10 points in a situation with a 6-point lead, 10 of those coming on points after turnovers.
It's a big 1-and-1 right here for the landlord, Sheldon Williams.
First player ever to average a double-double for Mike Krzyzewski.
You know, it's surprising. The last time that Duke had a player that led the league, the ACC, in rebounding. Let's go back to Mike Jaminski. Now Williams to cut it to 4.
Mike Jaminski, who was in a Final Four in '78.
Yep. From 9 to 4 with 7.5 to play.
How long will Tom Izzo keep Davis out of the ball game here? Trying to give him that rest.
Look at Love defending a little too closely, they say.
Wrong guy to foul, too, in regard to Anderson.
But it's not a 1-and-1.
It's not 1-and-1 yet.
Nope.
But Anderson is a guy, as I pointed out, this is a tremendous free throw shooting team. So if you go down to the wire, it is something that should play in their favor.
That's Neitzel coming in, and Sunday night, 60 minutes. It may be the most grueling race in America and the only one where a woman can beat the top men. Find out how on 60 Minutes this Sunday. So that's the 5th team foul against Duke in this half. 2 on Love.
Davis back into the ball game.
Anderson with 3 threes in this half. Drops it in low, and last touch by Duke.
Good passing that time by Anderson. Ager, Brown, they're both guys that can really slash and catch the ball.
7 minutes to go. Davis in the lane, puts it off the glass. Back to 6.
Ewing just couldn't get there in time on that pass. It was very well thrown.
Looking for Reddick. Williams, go ahead.
Yeah, nice defense by Davis.
Yep. Ewing steps back, jumper, got it.
Well, you can't ask Davis to do anything more. Williams had plenty of room. There was no double down, and Davis stopped him.
Shannon Brown comes up short, gets a second chance, and Duke pulls it away with Love.
Break opportunity.
Pull up 3, big shot, Reddick. No. Oh! Sheldon Williams.
How about the big man hustling full length of the floor? Tremendous job on his part.
It cuts it to 2. Watch this. They skipped right out of the basket, but the basket counts. They pulled down the rim, and the officials are talking about it for a minute, Billy, but it went through the cylinder.
Well, let's take a look at that one. Williams, as I've talked about, committed to getting himself in an incredible condition. Watch this play. The ball goes up from Reddick. It is outside the cylinder. Williams puts it in. That's a basket. That's a basket.
What point is it the basket? At what point?
It went through the rim.
Okay.
All the way through the rim.
All the way through the rim. Just clarifying for the audience.
And here you see Reddick pulling up. Down. He hangs on. That ball went below the cylinder. Watch it right here. And then it looked like the net is what threw it back up after it had been through. Tom Izzo with his head down. Does Mike Krzyzewski get another call?
Just think the rim on the recoil, once Sheldon let go of it, just kind of batted the ball around and it kicked out.
No basket, they're calling it. They're calling it probably because now they're saying Williams, in grabbing the rim, pulled the rim back up.
Wow.
Takes it away. This is huge.
6 minutes to go, and it's a 4-point game instead of a deuce.
Well, Tom Izzo had his head down. Maybe he was praying. But he got the call.
Was it the right call?
I think so. I think so. The more I saw as he pulled that rim down, and now Tom Izzo kind of smiling over there on some kind of a makeup.
A foul call on Anderson. And that's his second. And Tom does have kind of that smile like, I know what that was all about.
But 2 points will never get back up on the boards. There's a foul by Anderson on a push.
Wow, Anderson with 2 quick ones gives him 3 overall. And again, back to the other end, and it's a double bonus the rest of the way for the Devils.
Jim, you know, another thing that's kind of interesting about Michigan State and Duke. Remember, Tom Izzo goes to the Final Four 3 straight years.
99.
Right, and then, of course, in 2000, they won the national championship. Duke beat them in the semis. Remember that 62-68 game?
St. Pete.
And then that nightmare of a game that Tom Izzo had against Arizona in 01, where he got beat 61-80, a game that just nothing fell in place for him.
But that was a team that no one really saw as a Final Four team. Not expected to be there, and then came out, got steamrolled in that semifinal in 2001 in Minneapolis. 2 shots.
Charlie Bell's club.
Torbett for Brown.
Well, Tom Izzo had an opportunity to rest his starters, so they should be fresher than Duke. Duke's put in a lot of energy to make this comeback.
Just got word from the scores table that the ruling was ball has to go completely through the basket to be counted, and they said it didn't do that. So again, it's a 2-point game. Michigan State with just under 6 to play. Davis, baseline, way outside. He'll follow it up. And on the way up, Ewing reached in.
That's about the 3rd time in this half Davis has been able to, on a missed shot, follow his shot. Not a good block out by Williams.
Still not in the 1-and-1. The next one will be.
And Jim, you know what prevented that ball from going all the way through was Sheldon Williams grabbing the rim, and when he pulled the rim down, it snapped that net.
That's it.
Back
the recoil,
up and
it just
back out. Yeah. Otherwise, that ball was in and through.
They say Davis was in the act of shooting, so a couple here. And again, this team that was 2nd in the nation this year in free throw shooting, when they lost, it just doesn't add up. When they lost this year, they lost in a number of cases because they collapsed at the line at the end.
Wisconsin game that we saw, and of course the big one, the Iowa game where they were 15 from 30.
They're 9 of 11 tonight from the line, and they lead by 3.
Which is more like their shooting abilities.
But we'll see what they'll do down the stretch tonight in Austin. Melchione, this could tie it. 3-point shot, too strong. And Sheldon Williams battling, they'll call it on Williams.
And that was Ager who showed us the great dunk. And now goes up against the Duke big man and steals the rebound. And gets a foul.
And on Sheldon Williams, that is his 4th. He's coming out. Shav Randolph will replace him at the 5:27 mark.
Well, we remember the Connecticut game last year in the Final Four. Played 19 minutes, 4 points and 6 rebounds. Foul trouble plagued him. 4 of Duke's 6 losses were games in which he played in a situation where he was in serious foul trouble.
So he'll sit with the 4. It's a 1-and-1 for Ager. Made some big plays in this half, like Anderson. And again, a missed crucial free throw. Tom Izzo talked about a missed 1-and-1 in the late stages at Cameron against this Duke team as they battled to the end, and the Devils prevailed by 7 back on November the 30th. Now the 3 could tie. Ewing looked to launch instead. Inside Shav, back out Ewing. Jumper, short. Into the arms of Anderson. 2 straight empty trips for the Devils.
And you notice how Michigan State doesn't help at all on Reddick. They stay right with him, so it's hard to kick it out.
Torbett Sr., big shot, got it. One of his biggest. 4:46 to go, and it's back up to 6.
Torbett, one of those college players who's devoted so much time to improving his shot. In the last 2 years, he has been excellent. First 2, he could not make that shot.
5 threes by the Spartans, all in this half. Reddick working hard and not able to finish.
Needed the left-handed layup there, Jim. Did you notice that? Had the rim as his aid and didn't take advantage.
He thought he was going to get fouled, and there was no contact. Neitzel stuck, and Randolph with the pilfer. Back to Duke.
Drive.
Ewing, high off the glass.
There was no help back in there because Davis was outside. Really didn't have to be because he was on Shavlik Randolph. Spartans up 4 with 4 to play.
Timeout called by Michigan State.
Nice job by Tom Izzo. Their team was not in sync as to what he wanted to do in the half court.
Michigan State.
The entirely new all-wheel drive GS. The next phenomenon from Lexus.
Well, you can just feel the tension now as you think of the seniors at a point like this. Seniors that have been around big games in college their whole career on each side. 64-60 Michigan State, under 4 minutes to play. Will Allen Anderson and Chris Hill and the likes from Michigan State, will their careers be extended? Or on the other side, will Daniel Ewing keep his college career alive for another game? Davis, big shot.
Well, with Williams out of the game, Michigan State does exactly the right thing. They go to Davis down low with Shavlik Randolph behind him. Not the shot blocker that Sheldon Williams is. He's going to have to come back in the game. He's 3:34 to go.
He's checking in, Billy. Reddick, just nothing there. Gives it up. Randolph driving in hard and fouled on the way up.
Good idea by Randolph to try to take it right to the rim and cause the foul.
Tom Izzo and his Chargers lead. Coach K and the Devils. 3:21 left.
People all over are waking up to a new kind of performance sedan. This is the first ever Pontiac G6. And things are a lot different in here. With action, anything is possible.
In this high-pressure go, go, go world, it's hard to find time to eat healthy. Well, at least it was. Introducing the Fresh Fruit Bowl and Cup only at Wendy's. Honeydew, cantaloupe, pineapple, and grapes. Served with a low-fat yogurt dip and made throughout the day. Nothing like a fresh idea to get busy people's attention. Wendy's, it's better here.
You know what gives you that certain smile? You don't want it to turn into the moment of doubt. You want it to turn into the right moment. It can with Cialis.
Cialis is the only erectile dysfunction tablet proven to not only work fast, but also work up to 36 hours. 36 hours to relax and not rush things. 36 hours to respond to that certain touch when the moment is right. Cialis is only for men healthy enough for sexual activity. Do not take Cialis if you take nitrates for chest pain or certain alpha blockers for prostate problems or high blood pressure, as this may cause an unsafe drop in blood pressure. Don't drink alcohol in excess with Cialis. Side effects may include headache, upset stomach, delayed backache, or muscle ache. Erections lasting longer than 4 hours, though rare, require immediate medical help. Discuss your health status with your doctor and ask if Cialis is right for you.
And be ready when that certain look tells you the moment is right.
36-hour Cialis. When the moment is right, will you be ready?
The Amazing Race takes off for South Africa. A cave challenge may be the most dangerous ever.
Are you all right? Help us! We fell!
And for these two brothers, the next turn in the road could lead straight to disaster.
Oh my God.
A new special 2-hour Amazing Race, CBS Tuesday.
3:21 left. A foul right as we went to the break, and it was called on Kelvin Torbert of Michigan State. His fifth. I spoke of the seniors, Billy. A player that, well, came out of Flint, Michigan. They've had such a pipeline from Flint to East Lansing, and he was a decorated high schooler when he came to campus, a National High School Player of the Year, and just hoping his team can somehow keep it together here with that lead. 3:21 to go. They're sending Randolph to the line to shoot two for Duke.
Just a 53% foul shooter.
Has not scored tonight.
not get the roll. And Torbert going out of there is one of 4 1,000-point scorers on this team, 3 of which are seniors.
First time in school history they had 4,000-point scorers on the roster at one time. But look at the rebound. Ager, and he called for traveling. So he came down with it. Let's check the CBS Sports Line stat of the game. Here it is, points in the paint. Michigan State, they've had so many second chances, Billy, that you could get complete NCAA tournament coverage. CBSSportsLine.com.
Well, there, as I said, 13.5 rebound advantage over their opponents. Duke just 1.8, and Michigan State doing a great job, particularly on the offensive glass.
Williams came back in during that break with the 4, and that one rattles out.
Good steal.
Right back Ewing, steps back for the 3. Huge shot.
There's a senior that doesn't want to play his last game either, Jim.
Particularly right here in his home state,
where he played his last high school game. Can you imagine that?
Not looking for any symmetry with that.
No.
So he slices the lead in half with 2:50 to go. Davis working it.
Could that be the force?
And yes,
that is number 5, isn't it?
It's going to be on Williams. It is Williams, number 5.
Great job by Bagrakis, another one of those seniors who understands the game. Gets it in, no double down. Williams gets caught in the air, which he very seldom does. Great job by Davis. Now Duke will have to probably go small here, Jim, with 2:41 to go to put some pressure on the ball. They haven't had success with Shavlik Randolph out there against this quicker Michigan State team. Let's see if Mike Krzyzewski goes small and replacing Williams.
Williams out with 19 points.
And we'll see if Shavlik Randolph going back in. I guess Mike Krzyzewski figures he's got to have a matchup for Davis, or they'll just go inside the rest of the way.
Mike Krzyzewski using the full minute that he's allowed to replace a disqualified player. And again, Davis is going to go to the line. A chance to bring it right back to 6. Williams did not make a field goal in the second half. He did, well, for a moment, appear to have one, but remember, that one was erased from the books.
All right, by him pulling on that rim, the ball never cleared the net. It cleared right under the cylinder, but it snapped right back out.
Davis.
Well, he missed them in Durham, but not missing them here.
69-63. Michigan State with 2:38 to play.
If you're Reddick, you might as well keep the ball yourself. Try to beat Bagrakis. There he goes.
Going in on him. Double up, and the ball is thrown away. No one there. Except Coach K.
Well, he got it to the Duke leader, except it's not one in uniform.
Bagrakis brings it out high. Neitzel is checked by Dockery, and he'll head to the line for a 1-and-1. Second on Dockery, but they'll send a freshman to the line.
Neitzel only been there 17 times all year, but right at 70%. Another one of those Mr. Basketball of Michigan. Tom Izzo has only missed one in the last 7 years recruiting to his program.
Utah and Kentucky will be next on this floor. And Nelson in the lineup for Duke. Neitzel with a 1-and-1, wearing a number that is a very prideful number at Michigan State. Represents so much when you think of Mateen Cleaves and what he did for this university.
Jim, we talked about ACC Big Ten. 7-2 in head-up matchups before the season. So you've got 7-2 in the ACC Big Ten matchup, but tonight, those 2 wins that Michigan State had in the preseason may be matched in one night, with Wisconsin in control of NC State and Michigan State in control of Duke.
It could be 2 for 2 in the same window. But Ewing says, hold on a minute. Inside, over the back on Anderson, and he picks up number 4.
But what's right on the floor right now for Duke? You've got Nelson and you have Shavlik Randolph out there who are not good free throw shooters.
And that'll bring a freshman for Duke to the line. Neitzel, the freshman, got 1 of 2 for the Spartans, and let's see what DeMarcus Nelson could do. You pointed out already tonight it's a struggle for him at the line.
Yeah, you have Shavlik Randolph, who was up there just a minute ago at 55%. You've got Nelson at 53%, and they just cannot get them to fall. Now you've got offense for defensive maneuvering. Shavlik Randolph will come out. That means Love will be on Davis. See if Tom Izzo goes inside against Love.
We have the top 2 winningest active coaches in the NCAA tournament battling it out here with 2:10 to play. Second one goes for the freshman. 6-point game, 2:10 to play.
Neitzel, pretty good low dribbler. Tough to take the ball away from. Dockery right down on him. Nice job by Neitzel. Occupied some time and didn't get it turned over.
Timeout called. Tom Izzo wants to talk things over. 1:53 to play. 1:53. Can they knock out a #1 seed? State with the ball and the lead. You know, come Selection Sunday, Tom Izzo brought his team together. They were coming off that stinging loss in their first game of the Big Ten tournament to Iowa. But he told his team that you are going to make a run, guys. I have never been so sure about anything in my life, he told them on the night of the selection show. When they came out as a 5 seed, they got very little attention. Love. Did he get the timeout? They grant it. Duke gets the takeaway and the timeout with 1:51.
Huge play on that. Love anticipation right here, and goes up and gets the time.
Later on, LeBron James is here, and we'll have this, something like that. Let's just run through it. Yeah. Okay. No, I think it's sold out, actually. Let me just start like that. Whoa! Are you guys rolling on this? Yeah. That's a 90-footer. Ow. That is amazing. Oh, my. Did you get that? You have that, right?
Duke trying to find a way to stay in this NCAA tournament, a team that in many minds has overperformed this season. You've called it a number of times, maybe Coach K's best coaching effort.
I don't think there's any doubt about it. Duke goes small. Basically, they have 4 guards on the floor with Melchioni. Now, Melchioni's the guy that I think's the dangerous shooter here for Duke. Davis is guarding him.
Drive in, give up, and a foul as Melchioni now will go to the line.
That was a good dish. Melchioni inside. And there you're going to have now Love will substitute to try to give Duke some size against Davis. He's going in for Melchioni. So Melchioni will be the offensive player. Love will be the defensive player.
Davis with his 3rd foul. Melchioni 8 points on the night, all in this half. Make it 9. Coach K talking about his team that won the ACC tournament. This team needed to win a championship because we'll be referring to this team the rest of our lives around Duke, about what they did. This bunch that battled injuries, and they battle back now. Only 4 down. They had been down as many as 9 in this half.
And that was the 15th ACC tournament championship for Mike Krzyzewski, tying North Carolina. Small team out there defensively. And if you're Michigan State, you don't want to get too passive here. Take the ball to the basket.
18 on the shot clock, 1:25 in the game.
And if you're Duke now, you do not want to foul.
Particularly this guy, even though he missed big ones against Iowa. Anderson, turnaround jumper, nope, dumps it inside. And a tie up The arrow belongs to State.
But 5 seconds on the shot clock here. Let's see it.
You don't reset. You don't penalize a defensive play.
Don't you think Anderson probably should have shot that ball?
I thought he was for sure.
Yeah.
He's wide open.
Made an excellent move.
5 seconds on the shot clock. Huge possession here for State. Looking for the inbound play. Ewing got a hand on it,
Down
but
to 3.
2 more seconds elapse on the shot clock. Duke trying to D it up for 3 seconds.
I'm surprised Duke doesn't come back and get Melchione in the game now, because you'd like to have your offensive team on the floor.
Tommy Izzo wants to make a point here. He thought that maybe Ewing had possession for long enough to be able to say you reset the 35. I didn't see it that way.
No, I agree. But I thought that right now that Mike Krzyzewski would go ahead and get Melchione on the floor, anticipating the fact that maybe they could get the turnover here and he'd want his offensive team out there. Pretty good play on the inside, but again, that was made because Anderson, who was wide open for the shot, didn't take it.
Reggie Love has made a couple of gems on the defensive end. He was looking more like an old cornerback instead of a wide receiver. Well, what he's done here down the stretch, a few interceptions.
Well, remember,
now watch this. Watch how long did Ewing have control of it?
I don't think he ever had control.
You can't say that was a change of possession.
And Jim, when you start talking about Love, it was back in 01 when he played 21 games when Carlos Boozer was out, and he was 3 for 3 in the NCAA tournament during that run. Obviously stepped aside because Casey Sanders moved in there as the major replacement for Boozer, and he didn't get to play in that Final Four.
They also could be contemplating adding another second to the shot clock. They point up to the shot clock, but it still is at 3. 3 seconds for State to get off a shot.
I'd be watching for Brown or Aker going up towards that rim.
It's Davis, turn around, bouncing around, and tipped around back to Davis. And Love got a hand on him, and Davis back to the line.
And there you had such a small team on the floor. Here, Melchione is going to get to come into the ball game now on this foul. Davis had a good look, didn't he?
Now Davis, a number of times following his own misses. He's got 12 rebounds tonight, Billy. Coming off of 14 against Vermont, which was a career high just his last game. And one more now to bring it back to 6. 7 offensive rebounds tonight. Melchione on the floor.
Well, there's been rebounding dominance and in the paint dominance by Michigan State in this ballgame.
Free throw's not a problem for Davis. 105 and a 2-point or 2-possession game here. Duke down 6. Ewing, quick 3, rainbow 3, down and out. Tip, yes.
What a play by Nelson.
Boy, he had to arch way back to get his left hand on that one. 56 seconds in Austin. Michigan State 72, Duke 68.
Introducing Roundup Extended Control. It kills tough weeds fast, and now it also prevents. Just spray wherever you don't want weeds, and you won't get weeds for up to 1, 2, 3 full months. New Roundup Extended Control. Weeds have met their match.
It has gotten so scrappy here in the late going. Remember, the arrow belongs to Duke. That could come into play. Ewing, this looked like it might drop, Billy, but watch the effort by DeMarcus Nelson. Way back he reaches for this one and taps it home.
Terrific job being left-handed, helped him.
Anderson calling for help. Neitzel.
Excellent dribble.
Anderson. And Reggie Love reaches in on Brown. It'll be Brown to the line. Double bonus on each side the rest of the way. 2 shots coming.
Well, Jim, let me tell you, when you're going and spreading it out like Michigan State is, and you've got Anderson, the #1, as I mentioned earlier, the great free throw shooting team. Anderson, #1 in the league. You've got Brown, #3 in the league. You've got Torbert, who has fouled out. was number 2 in the league. And you have Agers number 5 in the league. No matter where they spread the ball, they have a pretty good free throw shooter that can receive it.
2 shots, and you can see why 84% on the season. Trannon in for Davis, Bograkis for Neitzel.
This team shoots 77% from the foul line, and it's well distributed.
2 for 2. Davis hits 2 in the last minute.
Got to be thinking 3. Where is Reddick? He wants one from deep downtown.
Then Brown hits 2. It's Nelson, and that's all there. And Michigan State comes out with it. Under 30 to play.
And why that ball didn't come back to Reddick. There's Nelson making a freshman mistake.
After hitting 2 just a moment ago, Brown will step back for 2 more. Michigan State 27 seconds away from eliminating Duke. A Michigan State team that got very little attention. No love after the brackets were released. People were looking at their second-round game against Syracuse, thinking about that championship by the Orangemen a couple of years ago. Most people thinking Syracuse and Duke would be playing on this night. But Michigan State could be in the Elite 8 here in just a matter of seconds. Ewing short on that one. Back out to Nelson. And the ball squirts into the hands of Ager. Michigan State is going to be 1 game from St. Louis.
Terrific job by Tom Izzo tonight, primarily on Reddick. The way he matched up his defensive players and used the versatility of so many guys about the same size to make life miserable for the All-American J.J. Reddick.
The Chevrolet most valuable players of the game, Paul Davis with a double-double, 2012. Outstanding play by Davis. And Daniel Ewing will close out his career in the same building on the same floor where his high school career ended, right here at the Erwin Center in Austin. That one ended with a championship in the state high school 5A final, and this will end up 4 wins shy of what his goal clearly was coming into this 2005 road to the championship. 2 for 2 for Anderson. And Michigan State, with a timeout, has reached its largest lead of the night.
Jim, they did a terrific job on perimeter.
10-point lead there. Meanwhile, Wisconsin by 62-54, 39 seconds left in Syracuse. Vern Lundquist, Bill Raftery are there.
Just under 40 seconds remaining. Wisconsin will go back to the free throw line as they have outlasted and come from behind. They were down 30-21 at the break. And 20-7 out of the gate in the second half.
You know, State had opportunities to widen the lead in the first half. They didn't. Give some heart, some faith, some confidence to the opponent. And then a different, well-oiled offensive scheme by Bo Ryan's guys. They got reversing the basketball, got it to the box. You saw some good.
And as they come out of the timeout at Austin, they go back into another timeout. Michigan State by 10. We'll keep you advised of the action. Let's go back to Syracuse.
This is a Wisconsin team that defeated Northern Iowa, then Bucknell. Bucknell, a team that had defeated Kansas in the first round. As he shoots the free throw, I'm thinking as they salted that win over Bucknell with a series of free throws, somebody, as Morley was at the line, yelled, "You're ruining a dream." And Zach Morley said after the game, "Hey, it's our dream too."
You don't want to share it. They just really struggled trying to make shots down the stretch.
Senior Sharif Chambliss, who was a non-scholarship player this year. Clayton Hansen. Mike Wilkinson with the period to the paragraph.
Oh, punctuation. Send it in. Dairy Farmer.
Badgers are about to advance 65-54. North Carolina State's season will come to an end. And here, unimpeded, Benneman for 2.
How about that elevation?
Final score.
Wisconsin a winner in Syracuse. Let's take you back to Austin as time runs down. 10-point lead for the Spartans. Jim and Billy.
Michigan State is marching on. One game from the Final Four. Duke is eliminated. But Michigan State is in the Elite Eight, the second Big Ten team to make it to the Grade 8, and Wisconsin could be just a few minutes away from making it 3 from the Big Ten in the last 8. Duke is out. Michigan State's moving on. Greg Gumbel's coming up on the road to the Final Four.
As you can see, folks, the winds right now are really gusting. We haven't seen anybody out here on the streets downtown. It's all but deserted. The roads are beginning to flood. Reports of bottlenecks are coming in from all over. Games have been canceled. Now, based on the data we're gathering back at the studio, all indications are this storm is headed for the record books. So again, stay inside. I gotta tell you, folks, I don't know if we're gonna need to start collecting 2 of every animal, but we'll get...
Vertical, 27 inches. Ball velocity, 119. Cleat size, 11 and a half. Let's move, man. Let's go! Go!
Baseball. Right down to the smallest details. MLB 2006. Nothing is more true to the game. Rated E for everyone.
Time to look at stars in a whole new light. The full line of Star motorcycles. For a limited time, get special financing on any Star motorcycle.
This is it. The Raymond you voted for is your all-time favorite.
Did you ever think of hugging me, you jerk?
It's pretty hard to hug someone who's trying to kill you. Everybody loves Raymond, your #1 choice. Monday.
Predictable tournament? I don't think so. Welcome back to our studios, everyone, as we continue to travel the road to the Final Four. Here's what's coming up next this evening here on CBS. Villanova and North Carolina, the top seed in the Syracuse bracket. Those teams will tip at 10:06 Eastern time, and then a minute later from Austin, Utah will take on second seed Kentucky. Greg Gumbel along with Clark Kellogg and Seth Davis. Now, these teams were, both of these games were pretty good coming down the stretch. Let's talk first about the game in Syracuse between North Carolina State and Wisconsin.
Well, they trailed by 9 at halftime, did the Badgers, but after this 3 by Sharif Chambliss, it's a 2-point lead for the Badgers. They're first since early in the game, but the best player on the floor was Alondo Tucker for Wisconsin. He ended up with 22 points, 3 of them right there after the hoop, and he knocked down the free throw. It's a 6-point Badger lead. Then the quickness of Tucker allows him to get to the baseline. It's a 10-point lead then, but North Carolina State would not go away. Julius Hodge, who struggled only 4 of 16, puts his team to within 4. but too much of the Badgers. Tucker and this time Wilkinson got busy inside, and Wisconsin able to come back from 9 down to win it by 9.
And Wisconsin, the third Big Ten team into the Elite Eight. The Chevy MVPs of this game for North Carolina State. Injun with 16 points. Alondo Tucker with 22. As you mentioned, Clark, he came up huge for the Badgers tonight. Just a short while ago after the game, Bill Raftery had a chance to talk with Wisconsin coach Bo Ryan and Alondo Tucker.
Alondo, I know you'll tell me the truth. What did the coach have to say at halftime?
You know, basically, you know, we played the worst, you know, basketball, Wisconsin basketball, you know, in the first half. And we came out, you know, and it showed that we had to stick to our rules. You know, we had 20 minutes left, he said. You know, we had to come out here and show everybody and prove to everybody that Wisconsin can play.
Did you think you had a case of nerves? I mean, I've never seen your team turn the ball over like that.
Oh, yeah. You know, guys have to get some jitters out. You know, it's tough. You know, a tough crowd out here. You know, so it just took, you know, 20 minutes to get the jitters out, you know, but we can't come out there playing like that next game.
Well, congratulations. Look forward to Sunday.
Thanks a lot.
Coach.
Hey, you know what? His feet were moving as fast as he was talking in the first half.
How about this comeback? Now, what did you say to these kids at halftime?
To slow down. Like I said, Doe is very excited right now because he's real happy that we won. And sometimes when young men get into this, they get a little anxious. And those turnovers we had in the first half, I had to read the uniform again on the front and say, guys, at halftime here now, I'm not worried about me being embarrassed as a coach. I'm embarrassed for you guys. Now, this is not the way we play.
Both, thanks. Congratulations. We'll see you Sunday.
Thanks a lot. Looking forward to it.
So the Wisconsin Badgers, a 65-56 winner over the Wolfpack of NC State, a team which led for much of the first half. Here's the question I can't imagine won't be asked sometime tomorrow morning in newspapers across the country. With all of the criticism that the Big Ten has received all season long, what are they doing with 3 teams in the Elite Eight?
It's matchups, Greg. You don't play conference against conference in the tournament. There are 65 teams when this thing starts, and you play teams. You don't play conferences. So when the matchups unfold in a favorable fashion, you get it done between the lines. The Big Ten was down this year. There's no denying that from top, middle, and bottom, but their top 3 teams are solid teams and have done a great job in the tournament.
Do you get the impression Clark's mad at me?
I agree with you. The Big Ten's taken a lot of hits. They have earned the right to crow on this one.
All right, meanwhile, Michigan State and Duke, Seth.
Well, this is a posterize, I would say. Mo Ager over J.J. Riddick, 2 of his 14 points. Michigan State really came out at the start of the second half, started throwing haymakers, and Duke was unable to respond. Look at this great ball movement. Matt Tranent's going to get the layup for 2 of his points. Spartans lead by 9 at that point. Daniel Ewing did his best to keep Duke in it with the steal. That 3 brought him back to within 3 at that point. And again, McGrackis to Paul Davis was absolutely terrific. 20 points, 12 rebounds, 7 of them offensive, 8 for 10 from the foul line. And yes, Michigan State made their free throws down the stretch. Sheldon Williams fouled out with almost 3 minutes left to play. The Spartans believed that they could pull it off. They made the plays down the stretch, and they earned their spot in the Elite Eight.
And Michigan State will now await the winner of the Utah-Kentucky matchup, while Wisconsin will await the winner of North Carolina against Villanova. Those games still to come here on CBS, incidentally. We'll take a timeout and come back after this.
Look at this place. What do these guys have that we don't have?
Well, they do have the rotary-powered Mazda RX-8, the Tribute, Mazda 3, 2005 Automobile Magazine All-Star, and the thing no one else has, Zoom, Zoom.
Okay, we got it.
It's the Mazda's on the Move sales event. For a limited time, lease the Mazda 3i 4-door for just $179 a month for 36 months with $19.99 to at lease signing.
Call you back.
Hurry, offers end March 31st.
If you decide to quit smoking, there are things you should know that can greatly increase your chances for success. To learn about them, visit Quit Assist Online, a free resource that links you to a wealth of expert quitting information, including tools and tips that have worked for others. Because the more you know about how to quit, the better your chances for success. Quit Assist. Log on through philipmorrisusa.com.
What is taste loss?
Am I at risk?
I thought the government wiped out taste loss in the 1950s.
If you have questions, we have the answers for you.
How can we fight taste loss?
Protect yourself with a great tasting, less filling Miller Lite. And please, keep asking questions.
Is now a good time to talk about taste loss?
Any time is a good time to talk about taste loss. Miller, good call.
I can't believe Carrie dumped me last night.
Really? You know, a good woman is like a McGriddles.
Okay.
She's sweet on the outside, and then once you get to know her, you find she's got everything you want. But just like that, she's gone. So what's your next move?
I go get myself another McGriddles?
Let's try this again. Women are like coffee.
The Amazing Race takes off for South Africa.
That's what I'm talking about!
A cave challenge.
Meredith, come this way, please!
May be the most dangerous ever.
Are you all right? Help us! We fell!
And for these two brothers, the next turn in the road
What's up,
could lead straight to disaster.
Oh, come on. Oh.
They flipped their Jeep.
Don't miss the most dramatic episode ever.
Oh my God.
Are you okay?
A new special 2-hour Amazing Race, CBS Tuesday.
One of our games just completed out in Austin. The Michigan State Spartans advanced with a 10-point win over Duke, 78-68, a short while ago in Austin. Jim Nantz with Coach Izzo and Paul Davis.
All right, Greg, I'm here with Coach Izzo and Paul Davis, and you just said what a huge win for us. Tell me about this one.
Well, I'm just happy for our guys. You know, they've been through a lot, and we said all along we're going to play this for them, and we played it for them, and give our kids credit. We banged and we hustled and we worked hard, and so did they. They got a very good team, Jim, as you know, but guys like this came through tonight.
You know, Tom, really, when the brackets came out, you guys were a 5 seed in a very loaded bracket. A lot of people, I think, we talked about this yesterday at practice, overlooked your team, and you told your team, I have never felt so sure about something in my whole life. We're going to make a run. What told you that?
Well, at the end of the year, we were playing better, Jimmy, and I think the Wisconsin win, and then we battled through some things, and I just felt confident. I liked the meetings we had at the end of the year, and sure enough, we're making a run, but we're not done yet.
Hey, Paul, huge game. A lot of offensive rebounds, a double-double, your matchup with Sheldon Williams. Tell me about this team and how you guys were able to beat the #1 seed.
Well, I mean, back in November when we lost, we felt like we had some things to correct, and we put everything into this game, and me and Sheldon, I was looking forward to that matchup all day yesterday and pretty much all week, and playing guys like that make me play better, and I look forward to them all the time.
Are you surprised you guys are 1 game away from going to a Final Four?
It's unbelievable. I mean, we can remember back when when we played Duke and watching all that game film, but it's here now. We got to take that opportunity.
Congratulations. We'll see you Sunday.
Thanks a lot.
All the best. Let's send it back to the studio. Back to you, Greg.
All right, Jim, Michigan State a winner, their 5th straight Sweet 16 win. Coach Mike Krzyzewski, first time ever that he loses to Michigan State. Remind you, our last 2 regional semifinal games still to come tonight. Utah challenges Kentucky, and Villanova will take on North Carolina, the top seed in the Syracuse bracket. Now, what may be the real secret behind Carolina's success this season can be traced to a freshman who comes off the bench. Marvin Williams could easily be the major star in almost any other program, but as Bonnie Bernstein reports, he seems perfectly happy taking a leisurely stroll down Tobacco Road.
Why did I come to Carolina?
College basketball is on fire.
That's why.
One of the most interesting things about you is your philosophy on basketball. You had the chance to go to the next level, and you said, no, I want to go